trades. One and only Mighty Mike up it, it's up it. I'm a MacGyver when I strike.
My name is Dave, and it's time to be saved. I got a wealth of information, cause it's comics that I crave.
My name is Tooth, one mad mushrooms, your neighborhood gaming addict. My toxic rage builds up all day, I'll turn your brain to cabbage.
This is Obi-Wan. Got the wrong one, son.
Geekblast! You better make way, stop what you're doing, cause you're gonna be saved. Hey,
it's Mike and Dave, we just found two,
and I'm on my way. Geekblast! You better make way. Open up your ears and let the word spread. Hey, Mike, David, Tunes. Someone call Obi. Yeah, Obi's in the room.
Welcome back, geeks, nerds, and dweebs alike. I'm Mike.
I'm Dave.
I'm Tooms.
I'm Obi.
I'm excited we're all back together.
Yay!
It's been a long time. I missed you guys.
It's been about a month.
A month.
A
Fortnight.
Yes. Well,
Last 2 weeks.
Is it?
No.
I gotta say, the biggest thing
fortnights.
from last night is you're all missing a lot of hair.
No, I have the same
Quite a
amount.
bit.
I've always been bald. Yeah.
I shaved my legs, but
Did
you
you?
guys can't see them.
That's what makes the
and
difference.
your armpits, too.
And my
I
armpits.
see.
There it is. I knew something was
There was less hair in the room.
less hair in the room.
Well, it's summer
Absolutely.
now, so.
Yeah, so, well, this show probably isn't going to be as good as the last show, just on the main fact that we're not going to have Clark Gregg on it again.
This
but
is true.
Maybe in the future he'll come back and bless us with his presence.
Yeah.
At this point, I would have played something like "This is Clark Gregg"
Promo.
please, Geekblast, but epic fail on that one. But tonight's show we have a good thing set up for you guys. Obi, why don't you give us the rundown?
The rundown. All right, well, it's our first episode back since our most triumphant interview of the one Clark Gregg.
Yes.
Fantastic. We had a great time. He was chill as hell. Thank you again, Mr. Gregg, if you're listening. Today's episode, we're kind of going to get back to the mill. Go back to, what has made us famous. We're going to talk about comic books, movies, and TV. We got to actually... and spooky stuff. Don't forget spooky stuff. We actually have an excellent caller this week, indie sensation John Miller, the writer from Outpouring Comics. He's going to call in. We are going to talk about... Hopefully we have time to get into Game of Thrones, because the last couple
Epic.
episodes... I mean,
Yeah.
if whatever awards they have for TV are getting thrown at that show.
How many do we got left?
3.
That's
Three-
it?
three
episodes.
I was going to say 4.
So it's usually a total of, 8, 9 episodes?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's about to pass the book, but we'll get into that. Because that's people freaking out that's going to pass the book.
Indeed.
That new show, Penny Dreadful, on Showtime. Fargo, we want to talk about. A couple of us saw Godzilla. A couple of us saw X-Men.
Salem was good.
Salem.
Good show.
I don't know
if any of
we
you
watched
guys have
Salem.
seen it, but
So we're going to get into that stuff. Dave's got his comics. Jared's got his video games. Natalie's got her winning smile. And we're going to tape together a great show for you tonight. And away we go.
All right, well, I'll start off with the shout-outs, as always. Mickey at the BatcaveComics.com. We always shout him out.
In-house last week.
In-house last week.
Giant man.
Jealous I missed it.
He's like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
You missed a great episode.
I would like to climb a mountain.
You hear that, Mick? You're missing out.
So,
Yeah.
we always shout out Mickey. And, as the show progresses, we're actually going to have Mickey come on. We're moving the show from the once a week format that we've been doing to once a month. And we're going to have a 3-hour show for you guys. Will be still available on iTunes and Stitcher. So we're just trying to keep everything as, as it was. But Mickey will have his own segment at that point in time. So it's going to have something to do with eBay. We're trying to pan out the details, but it's going to be pretty cool.
This guy's got his finger on the pulse of a lot of things.
Yeah. So,
I mean, he could talk about wrestling.
yeah.
He knows Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
He knows a lot of wrestlers.
You
Yes.
just got so excited.
You
Your
should have seen his
cheeks are
face.
glowing.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Yeah.
Hacksaw
he
Jim
does.
Duggan. He's the man. And a 2x4 wore underwear. It's great.
Oh boy.
Weren't they bikinis?
No, I was.
What are they
I mean, you
actually
can call them.
I don't
that.
even know what they were.
They're
but-
actually
Tights. They're,
called tights.
they're men's
Yeah,
underwear.
tights.
So
Run
anyway.
around in underwear.
Underoos?
Moving along.
Yeah. Back to the shout-outs.
So, we always like to shout out Rabbit, doing a good job on the Facebook
She
pages.
geeked hard.
Yeah,
she
and
geeked
she
hard.
called in, had a little
Little meltdown.
meltdown
She
with
geeked
Clark
hard.
Gregg.
Which is cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
She got geek blasted.
She got blasted with geekdom.
Yeah.
She got a blasted geek all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
I could
Good for
feel it.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she fronts the pages. We're All Infected, Walking Dead page. That's her bread and butter, I guess you could call it. Flagship page. She also does the Marvel and DC Junkies Anonymous pages. So check those out. Also check out our own Facebook page, KMDT Presents Geekblast. We're making some good headway with that page. Getting a lot of likes on that page
I
so
feel like
far.
there's been a lot of
Yeah,
fun
there's been a
stuff
lot
on
of
that
action.
page lately.
And thanks to our admins, Meg, Rabbit, of course, and Mimi, and
Dr. Essex.
Dr. Essex,
The man, the
Who's
myth,
gonna-
the legend.
who's going to be joining the show as we move to the 3-hour time slot. With, like I said again, we're putting together a cool little segment for him, something about toys, because he's the toy man. So we'll have that for you. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought.
Shout-outs.
But yeah.
Shout-outs.
Dr.
So-
Essex.
I think
Yeah.
that's... Well, and Spidey fan.
And,
Can't forget
yeah,
Spidey.
Can't forget Spidey fan.
Well, the Beatles.
Love Spidey fan.
Oh, he loves the Beatles.
I love how we embarrassed him in front of Clark Gregg. That
He
was
did
great.
it.
And
But he
actually
did it.
scored about
He
it.
really did.
And hey, man, you got to give the guy props for that.
Yeah.
See, the English aren't that
Was
bad.
any were any of you guys taken aback about how
Down to earth
affable he was? Yeah,
Oh,
like
no.
how.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was going to be chill as hell.
Well,
That
just
feeling
from his
deep
interviews
down, you
that
know?
I've seen on television and
Yeah,
his,
right,
his
exactly.
mannerisms and
That's-
his tone,
that's-
I kind of expected it.
We're 5 people in the basement of a zombie shelter.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little different.
I didn't feel that he would deal with us for as long as he did.
Yeah,
You
would
know
he
what I
double
mean?
Yeah.
up? He doubled up his time. He said
did
20 minutes.
too.
What do you get, about 40?
40
Yeah.
or so.
That means
30,
maybe
70.
he genuinely
Yeah.
enjoyed our bantha fodder.
But he's a geek also, so I mean that's
True.
probably a big factor to
But
it.
nobody was surprised at that either. He really had some information like ready to go, and
Yeah.
he said he wanted to be a Whovian. He said he was toying with that idea, which
But
surprised
but
me.
he was a Star Wars fan at heart,
Yeah.
which is
That's the way he went.
Big in this room.
yeah. So shout out to Spidey fan review man, Mr. James Knowles. So as always, we want you to send us information to geekblast1@gmail.com.
Love your feedback. Love
Yeah.
to hear from you.
Yeah,
Give us anything you got. So at this point in time, I say we just move on to comics. Open it up.
To me.
Take it
in
away,
comic-
Dave.
May was a big month for me in comics. I actually got to raid a couple of spots, picked up a lot of hot stuff.
Oh, those cards you got are ill. Those are
yeah,
ill.
yeah.
Those are really nice.
But actually, no, I hit the comic store, and there Marvel has a few gems that came out in May. Moon Knight issue 3, which is done by Warren Ellis, and I don't know the guy's first name, but his last name is Shavely, which I always thought is a weird name. But anyway,
So his first name wasn't in front of his
Shabley?
last name?
no.
It was just like art by.
Yeah, I think it's he's the artist. They only give
The one name man.
the writers the first name, whatever
Okay.
I'm looking for whatever reason. Anyway, Iron Fist Living Weapon 2, which is just a great book at this point. Wolverine 6 and 7. Savage Wolverine also I picked up. Nightcrawler. He's got his own book again.
Cool.
So that's on issue 2 right now. That's going very well. Chris Claremont, one of the original X-Men
Yeah, yeah,
writers,
I
he's the
remember
one
that.
doing that book. So,
That must work out well.
well, nobody writes it, in my opinion, like Claremont or Byron. So, to me, that's the X-Men.
Well, enlighten the audience a little bit. What do they write?
Well, Claremont is pretty much one of the pinnacle X-Men writers. Like I'm trying to think of some of the maybe crossovers that he did.
Who was on
which are
House of M?
huge. That was Brian Michael Bendis. That's more recent. These guys that I'm talking about are late 70s, early
Okay.
80s guys. You know, the real guts of
OG
the
Max.
X-Men. Yes.
OG Max.
OG Max.
They're
Yes,
X-Men
100%.
OG Max.
The only one more OGer is the creator, Stanley. But anyway, I digress.
OG.
Dave, I often wondered. Now, these are 2 different Wolverine books going on simultaneously.
There's like
That's what I was
3.
going to ask. Like, how many actual, for a popular character like Wolverine, how many comic books does he have based on him going
Dude,
at the same time?
see, that to me is one of the main problems with the
With
industry.
Marvel.
Well,
Right.
no, just with the industry
As a whole?
As a whole, with the exception of
I thought you said DC's a little bit more.
not really, because I was just as I was gonna go along in comics, I'll just shoot it out there right now, right? So I'm still reading Batman, right?
Still,
Yeah,
how's that going?
dude. That's all I gotta say. But Batman's up to 4 titles a month, and that's just core Batman.
So are they all weekly, bi-weekly? So basically there's a new Batman title once
a week.
Every month.
Every month.
What are those titles? Close your eyes and think.
Batman 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, Batman.
make it easy?
There's the Batman. There's Batman Eternal, Detective Comics starring Batman, and Batman and Robin.
I'm Batman.
Good. I'm Batman too. And I'm still on that. I'm still reading them. I'm caught up to date with the Batman Eternal, which is the newest book. I think that's on issue 3 or 4 right now. But all the other ones I'm still behind. I'm kind of catching up in graphic novels. So I'm up to the 3rd one with the Batman with the Joker cutting his face off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that has the Court of the Owl?
No, that's after Court of the Owl. Yeah, that's the same book.
It's the same story book.
It's the same book, yeah, The Batman. But other than my infectious love for Batman, other cool Marvel titles that are dropping number 1s this month are Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which is a classic 70s book that I just love because I love Kung Fu stuff. So, anyway, Original Sin, the major crossover event, 3 issues are out of that already in this month.
So
That's a lot.
Yeah, is that already too late to jump in on?
No, because there's really, I think it's a 6-issue thing.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
But
Definitely no Antonio Banderas, right?
no,
I'm out.
not that I know of.
I am out.
And for you tunes,
What's that word right there?
Thanos Annual 1, with the return, finally, of Jim Starlin to Marvel to write the villain that he created. So
Nice.
I picked that up. I haven't gotten able to read that yet, so next month I will delve into that real
Let
quick.
me know. Let me
Yeah.
know how it winds up.
I'll
You're not going to pick it up?
I'll let you borrow it when I'm done. So I got 2. 'cause-
Dave enjoys it.
Digital
I'll definitely borrow
download,
from him.
baby.
Or yeah,
Digital download.
digital downloads. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a couple of weird things because, like I said, I'm mainly a Marvel guy, and really I do some DC stuff, but I don't really pick up too many things of the independent stuff. But this month, for whatever reason, like 3 different books from Image caught my eye, and I picked them up. Where am I at here? Okay, the first book is called Cow, and it's Cowl.
Cow.
Oh,
Not cow.
I thought you said cow.
I really did get excited for it until you told me there was an L there.
No, Cowl, not cow. It stands for Chicago Organized Work League. Basically, it sounds to me like a little League of Extraordinary Gentlemen thing.
Sounds like me like a union.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like the YMCA.
Which to
yes,
me,
you know.
being in a union, which is why I was drawn to it, right? I mean, it was a big cog on the cover. It was cool.
You got a carpenter and an
A
electrician.
cog.
Guh.
Good.
You know, like
Good.
Spacely
Yeah.
Sprockets.
No, that's a sprocket.
Good reference.
But it's
That's
still
Cogsley's
I know, but
cog.
there's-
Cogsley.
So it's like one guy a
Cogwell.
plumber, one guy's a electrician, one guy's a
Indian.
satellite dish guy.
He might be.
The leather enthusiast.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe. Maybe. Also, another cool book I picked up was a trade paperback. It's called Black Science. It's like your traditional 50s sci-fi. Put that thing in your ears.
Just keeps
Seriously.
falling. Doesn't even stay in.
Put it in your ear.
What kind of 50 sci-fi? Because I feel
Like-
like that's kind of fun.
It's like the really bad black and white.
Like,
Yeah.
movies. That's what this book is kind of like. That's what the art reminds me of. Is that 50s style pulp?
Yeah.
Are you talking about like Bride of Frankenstein, the Mel Brooks movie? With
No, not campy.
No, okay.
But just like straight hardcore science
like Bela
fiction.
Lugosi
No,
era?
science fiction, not horror.
Yeah, but like that era?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 50s, early 60s, around that time before comics had the comics code slapped on them and then they had to, do all kinds of craziness.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and this other thing. Warren Ellis, who is just one of the guys that I follow
Yeah.
regularly, came out with this book called Trees.
Trees?
Trees.
It's getting really generic. Cows, trees.
Not cows, it's cogs with an L. But no, this is called Trees. I haven't read it yet, but a buddy of mine was the one who said I should pick it up because he knows I love
Trees.
Well,
I
yes,
give
Nature.
up, man.
yes, but no, no. He knows I love science fiction epic, tales like Star Wars and that type of stuff. Like I like things with a grander picture, not just
A bigger universe.
Exactly.
Huh.
he said this Trees book, which is only the first issue had just come out, he said is going to blow my mind.
So it's more than just a forest.
As far as I know, it's...
All I'm thinking is Lord of the Rings. Like,
Ents.
walking
Those are
Well,
ents, though. Those
I
are
wouldn't.
ents.
That's not off really too far off of what he told me, kind
Okay.
of. But it was more of like these. Since the Earth's been around, these aliens who are sentient tree beings have just landed on Earth, and they're the ones that are really in control of the whole entire planet, and they don't think of us as anything.
But then why do we cut them down so easily?
That I don't know.
That you'll have to read the issue.
Then again, like I said, I didn't read the issue yet. I didn't pick it up yet, but a buddy of mine said I should, and that's where I'm leaving that for right now.
Was it Mickey?
I'm
No.
intrigued to hear about it.
I do have other friends that like comics besides Nick.
Yeah, but Mickey's the only
They're
one I
very
know.
far and few between, mind you.
Mickey's true blue, though.
Yes.
Like Mickey says that he's usually spot on.
Mickey's not a big independent guy, though.
Yeah,
as
I
far
couldn't
as
see
know.
Mickey reading anything
No?
called Trees or Cow.
Or,
No,
or cock.
he's more of a. Well, I don't want to say this because
Purist?
I'm probably
He's
wrong.
old-fashioned.
He's a purist,
He's
100%.
old-fashioned.
But he definitely likes his superhero books. He's not a big. The only science fiction I know he likes is he's a huge Trekkie.
Really?
Yeah,
Huge Trekkie.
huge Trek. It's the one thing we always clash on.
Captain
Static.
Kirk is a woman.
Yes.
No, I'm not a big Trek guy.
And the other thing I just have now, since the Asbury Park Comic Con that I went to,
Asbury Park, New Jersey.
yeah,
Represent.
I just fell back in love with Conan the Barbarian. So I've like dove back into all my comics. I have all my Conan stuff at home right now. I'm like just reading it.
And you've always been an avid fan of Conan.
Yeah.
So you'll touch your comics still? Like do you have gloves you wear?
No, I have 2 copies of everything. I have a reader copy and one that's in a plastic and doesn't do anything.
That makes sense.
My girlfriend really wants to see your storage locker. I told her it was like a little comic store.
And
But I won't tell anybody where it's located.
and she was never seen again.
Exactly.
Once
Actually-
you enter, you will not leave.
I was I'm trying to talk my fiance into letting me get a bigger one, but
Don't do it, Die.
it's not happening because we just can't afford
You might as
it.
well just rig it up as a second chill spot.
Or just make
It
it your
is. I have
home.
24-hour access.
Just
I
live
can
in
get
it.
it in and out of there whenever I want. It's
I
great.
can't wait
Decent
till
ventilation system.
What are you gonna do when you see Dave on Hoarders? Up to his tits in comic books.
It'll be a very clean hoarders.
Oh, everything will be
You know what I mean?
organized.
Everything will be very
Stacks.
organized.
Yeah, there won't be
Yeah.
like your crazy
Laminated.
hoarder
Everything will be
episode.
laminated.
But the
Yeah.
fury when they start throwing things into the back of trucks.
No, that ain't
Oh,
happening.
oh, oh,
I'll take them right out of my
You
house.
say that now, but somebody's gonna force you.
Dan is out front crying. I need to use the toilet in the house again.
I'm like, I'll
can't let
build
it
you
go.
an outhouse. I'm a mason, damn it.
Well, I think we have a caller here. Let's.
Alright, cool.
It may be John, maybe
Mr. Miller?
a caller. So
Let's
let's see. All right, Mr. John Miller, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Hello,
Is that
John.
Mike?
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good, good. Well, thanks for calling in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we stumbled upon you through Mickey at the Asbury Park con that
Right.
they had not too long ago.
Yeah, I was there.
Yes, Dave was there as well. So you have a comic book. The comic book is called VODA, correct?
Correct.
All right, and your comic company is Outpouring Comics,
Yes, it is.
and you have 2 issues out right now,
Mhm.
and a 3rd one on the way.
Correct.
So let's dive into the first issue a little bit, and tell us about the main character in that issue,
Deadeye?
Deadeye, badass biker dude.
I love
Before
that.
before that you go, John, and thanks for calling. This is for our listeners. It's outpouringcomics.com. And you can get all the comics we're about to talk about for $1.99 digital download. Totally worth it. I read both of them today. Go out, outpouringcomics.com. Check it out for our friend Mr. Miller here. Take it away,
thank
Mr.
you.
Miller.
Okay, so you wanted to know a little bit about VODA issue 1, right?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, the series VODA, it's short. It's an acronym for Valley of Death Alliance. Their base of operations, it's a group of villains whose base of operations is going to be located under Death Valley. The main character we follow is Deadeye, and, well, for some reason or another, which we're not getting into quite yet, we have it planned, but he's looking to form a group of villains to help get his revenge. In the first comic, he's looking to recruit a character by the name of who he thinks goes by the name of the legendary Mole. He later finds out in that comic that the guy calls himself Mr. Mole, and he actually is a mole. And he battles the crime syndicate, a guy by the name of the Butcher. That's basically the general gist there. The reason why he battles him is because he needs the files so that he can find the other people in who he's looking for to become part of his team.
So the Butcher basically is the keeper of information on other supers, really, yeah.
Correct. The Butcher has extensive files on it. A man by the name of Alfie Briggs has extensive files on the superpopulation, and the government has extensive files on the superpopulation too. Beyond that, and Mr. Mole's files, those are the only 4 people who actually kind of get a feeling of what's actually going on.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about Deadeye's superpower, because it's kind of interesting. Like, he's got this, you know, he's got the shades on, but then he takes them off and your face disappears.
Yeah. Well, his superpower is simply, it's written in his name. When he makes direct eye contact with someone, they die.
Unless their name's Invincible.
Unless they're named Invincible, because, well, Invincible's powers are kind of unique. He has the ability to call a mental block on other people's powers, and as he's calling the mental block, he's completely immune to that power. The way that he was eventually defeated was he did not know what Mr. Mole was attacking him with, because he didn't have any info on Mr. Mole. He had the info on Deadeye because he showed up to stop him, and that was in VODA issue 2, where they battle against the Heroes United, led by Invincible and the Link, a universe-class psychic.
Okay.
I have a question. Can
Okay.
So anybody that Deadeye looks at, he will kill them, or does he have to like want to be killing them?
Well, that's one of the reasons why he wants revenge. He automatically kills anyone he makes direct eye contact with.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so if he's...
That's got to be beat for the pizza guy.
I was thinking,
Yeah,
or
right?
like if he meets a lady,
No.
you can't look at her.
Back shots.
Yeah, Deadeye didn't sign up for these powers. The reason why he's forming this group in the first place is because he's upset that he received these powers in the first place, and he feels that if he is going to be affected by this curse, then everyone else should be affected by it too.
Okay.
So now the first
I get
thing
it.
that I picked up on that you just said was received. So he wasn't born with these powers?
Correct. In our universe, we actually have only 3 different ways to gain powers. One of them is through a legacy title. There's a cosmic entity by the name of the Author who actually sends out legacy title to different people, certain jobs that are supposed to be accomplished by them, and certain powers that he gives them. Outpourings are also another way of receiving powers. There's another entity by the name of the Dormentor that when he gets waken up from his slumber, he showers powers down on a planet, and some as few as 40, as many as a couple of million will gain powers from that shower.
Wow.
And the third and final way is actually, if your parents have powers, you can, they're passed genetically too.
Like hereditary powers.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So just talking to you briefly, because I read the 2 comics today before the show,
Okay.
it sounds like you have a really large universe kind of planned out here.
We have already created 1,300 pieces of intellectual property.
1,300.
Correct.
That is most impressive. So how did you get hooked up with this artist? Kent Willis? He's the guy who does the digital and the hard copy?
Yes, he is.
Good job, bravo to him. It's an interesting. It's very indie. It's a very indie out, and I'm kind of into indie comics right now. I'm big on it's like supporting local farmers, so I'm very behind what you're doing. How'd you get hooked up with Mr. Willis?
A mutual friend of ours by the name of Bob Bell actually connected the 2 of us together. He was a co-worker of Bob's up at the Prudential Center in Newark, and Bob and I actually attend the same church currently. So
That's what church does. Unites.
Friends making friends.
It unites.
Bob connected me and Kent together, and from there,
Well, how
we
long
have
was basically what I was asking was how long has
comics
this been in the
and I'm picking
making?
up the artwork for the third one this weekend.
The third one that's up on the site.
Well, the third one's not up on the site yet. I'm
You-
literally picking up the artwork for it on Sunday. So we're looking to have it in people's hands by not this coming Monday, but the following Monday.
What's the name of the third issue you're going to be putting out?
The third one is going to be VODA issue 3 again. We're not titling it. We're starting our titles on our fourth one, which is going to be a graphic novel. It's going to be called Project NASA.
Okay.
And in the third, in Project NASA will be the first time that you'll see them actually run into the government. In the third one, well, I'll transition into that right now. You meet a man by the name of Luther Jennings, another guy by the name of Maloney, and a sheriff by the name of Big Billy Bob. It'll be the debuts for each of the three of them. And you're not quite sure whether these guys are heroes or villains at first. All you know is Luther Jennings wants to test Deadeye and Mr. Mole.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't want to give away too many spoilers.
Oh, can I ask?
Understandable.
I want to ask. I have so many questions that I want to ask about
Oh,
all
yeah.
of this stuff.
You can ask some questions.
Okay, the first thing that stuck out to me and Mike after we read them, and I thought it was really original and unique. You started off with the villain. The first issue, Deadeye, turns out to be the villain. So you kind of endear him to your fan base first before you introduce the hero. Was that natural? Was that by accident? Was that discussed? Where'd that come from?
The reason why we decided to go with Deadeye first was we were deciding. We did a lot of stuff through tabletop RPing to get stuff for. This was born out of basically tabletop RPing. We had a cool event called Outpouring 2 that was completely tabletopped out. But I realized originally when we were going to start with that. I was kind of like, well, we need to fill in the gap between Outpouring 1 and Outpouring 2. We were trying to look around and see, where's the best angle to attack it from, and I'm kind of like, well, if we start with the government piece, it's not going to have as much of an appeal. We need to start with a hero or a villain. As we were going down the list, Invincible, we like Invincible. Invincible's a nice character, but I think Deadeye actually has more of a personality, more of a character, and more of something that maybe our readers would actually connect with. Something to where he is an individual who didn't want the powers in the first place, would just turn them off if he could. However, he's forced to live with them. Just like many times there are like things in our lives where, well, we would just turn it off if we could, but we're forced to live with it. We're forced to overcome it. Now,
I mean,
taking a darker route to that, but
Yeah.
Me and Mike both think we liked Deadeye more.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out of Deadeye.
yeah.
When he fought the Butcher,
Yeah.
is he dead?
The Butcher's dead.
He's dead.
Butcher's not coming back at all.
So when the Butcher walked into the next room, and you go to the next frame where it's Deadeye, and he's saying, "Oh, he has tricks too," and then all of a sudden he's in this purple suit.
With his bodyguards and
Yeah.
his file room.
Is that like part of his tricks? Like, I was a little confused there.
Oh, my mistake. One of the things that we didn't explain out as well there, that we realized that after we did our first print, and I'm kind of like, we may revisit that someday,
Right.
the further defining of Deadeye's and the Butcher's power. Deadeye has a straightforward dash, which has not been shown all that well in the comics up to this point in time. So there is a chance that that dash might just actually be eliminated completely based on the fact that we haven't shown it in the first three comics.
Right.
The Butcher's quote unquote trick was basically like a little bit of a like a Tony Stark style costume change off scene. You know how when Iron Man lands and the suit comes off him, the Butcher was meant to go into the room and all these machines come out and put the suit on, take the Butcher suit off, take the Butcher costume off. But we didn't go into as much depth of that as we should have.
Well, I don't think it. I mean, I think it kind of left the mystery to the Butcher. I liked it, but it was like mystery. That's why I asked about it.
Why would you create such a cool character and kill him in like 7 frames?
Well,
I actually like the Butcher.
That's going to be what one of my questions is.
We like the Butcher too. The Butcher will appear in our Briggs Empire series, which happens before our VODA series.
Okay.
Our Briggs Empire series is going to feature the split of the original crime syndicate. It's actually going to take place, it's going to begin before the Earth gained powers, and powers are going to hit the Earth in between there. And it's going to show the Butcher struggle versus a young crime boss by the name of Alfie Briggs.
Okay. Well, my question was...
The Butcher will see play in 3 graphic novels that we're looking to release late 2014 through the year of 2015.
Cool. Well, my question is this to you: when you kill somebody in your universe, are you going to bring them back, or are they going to stay dead?
Most of the time, when we kill a character, we're going to leave them dead.
But you're going to do...
Unless we allude to it before that there is some sort of, this character has a connection to the underworld, or this character might have had a connection to a phoenix, or this character might be able to actually win a game of chance against death.
Right, yeah, so they can like come back in a flashback or something, but they're never going to be alive after they've died.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I think we all do.
That's one of the things, I mean, I'm an avid comic book fan, and the fact that they kill people and bring them back all the time is kind of annoying at
Drives
this
me
point.
bonkers.
Yeah.
One of the
Drives me
three,
batty.
there were 3 major things that we didn't like about comic books as a whole that we wanted to address, because we know a lot of people don't like it. And that was one of the 3 things. And the other thing was the absence of different minority and ethnic groups. And also the last thing was the, portrayal of women as a whole. So
And you hit all 3 of those points in the first 2 issues.
we tried to, and we're going to continue to try to do that.
John, what are some of your influences?
Oh wow, some of my influences. It would be weird to say, but some of my bigger influences have been the tabletop RPing systems that I've either played in or I've actually ran. The Mutants and Mastermind system as a whole. My friend Brandon Becker, who's run several campaigns. As far as influences from other sources of mainstream media, a little bit of I would say there's a little bit of a Naruto influence maybe at times.
Nice.
Okay.
I believe in having everything count. So yes, I am a man of faith. I'm not looking to make allegories. However, at the same time, I do pull stuff from the Bible, from ancient Roman and Greek gods. So a lot of our names in our fantasy novel have been Latin or Greek based.
So that's Deadeye's name?
Oh,
his real
Deadeye's
name?
The name Deadeye just...
No, his real name.
Deadeye's actually originally patterned after Paul Sr. from West Coast Choppers, and his name is Saul Tootle.
Okay.
Saul Tootle, that's what it was. Okay.
That's what it was. All right.
So...
Very cool.
Yeah,
You
we
caught
were
it.
looking at the bios and we're like, all right, what is his name? Saul?
I thought maybe it was like an anagram or it was written backwards or something.
It's a little bit of a spin off of West Coast Choppers. So I was giving a little bit of shout out to them there.
All right, well, listen, John, we'd love to continue talking.
Yeah,
We're running out of time here.
A ton of questions.
But just give us kind of plug on your whatever you want to, plug up your site, what you got coming out. Good.
Okay. Well, our site once again is outpouringcomics.com. Through that, we're taking pre-orders for a book right now called The Second Great War of Mysterium. That is basically our first line. It's going to be my first fantasy novel ever being released. It's coming out in mid-July right now. It's going to be done in the form of an illustrated journal, and it's going to be a fantasy war novel debuting our second planet in our universe, the planet of Mysterium. Obviously, VODA issue 3 is coming out in just a little. Oh, hello, still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay. And by the end of the summer, we also look to have a children's book by the name of Major Nature out, and we look for our Luther Jennings line, the character who will be sharing in VODA issue 3, our Dark Ashes line, which takes place on the planet of Uranus, or our Great Empire line. Yeah.
I can't believe I'm this old and I can't hear a man say Ashes of Uranus and not laugh.
Me too.
All right. So, all right, great, man. Well, thanks for calling in, and
Thank you, John.
we will definitely be looking out for you guys, seeing what you got coming out, and everybody out there in Geekland, take a look at outpouringcomics.com, and like Obi said, man, it's $1.99 for download.
You spent
You
more
can't
money on a
lose.
stupid iPhone
Yeah.
app. This is definitely an infinitely better purchase.
So,
Well,
all right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for calling in,
John.
John.
Best
Have a
luck,
great
ma'am.
evening.
Hope to hear from you.
All right.
All right.
Excellent. I'll be in touch.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a great one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Everybody's always so nice.
Yeah.
So nice. He seems like such a nice chap.
Yeah. Not a bad.
You smell
not
fire?
bad.
I smell fire.
I do
I was
smell
thinking
fire.
that.
I smell fire. You smell fire?
Aren't you playing with a lighter
The
over there?
fortress is on fire.
No, I'm not.
They probably don't know we're
Our
down here.
zombie shelter can't be
They're
on
coming.
fire.
Yeah, this is like where we hide from
Oh,
zombies.
man.
I was just a little.
Obi, I thought this thing was impenetrable.
little-
Did you
alert
feel the
there.
door before you opened it?
Fire? Is that soot?
We're burning, sir.
Oh.
Oh no.
All right. Well,
If we don't burn to death.
before we burn to death, let's get to our.
We're gonna go
movie
down with the
quote.
ship.
Yeah.
That's we're gonna be the guys playing the violin as the Titanic sinks.
I actually had a question for Dave before we totally leave the comics.
Go ahead. Hurry
Did you go to Free Comic Day?
No.
Oh!
You want to laugh, right? Here's the word. Right?
Oh.
Epic fail. Like I said, I've had many of them over the month.
I had to know because I haven't seen you.
Right? So I was the month prior, plugging it. May 3rd, May 3rd, May 3rd.
You forgot
Yeah.
the date.
Forgot that it was May 3rd.
Shut
Showed
up.
up at the comic shop May 4th. No free comics.
A raging ass bag.
Yeah.
Hey, where's my free comics? They were here
Dude.
yesterday, dude.
That's what they
awesome.
said.
European lisp thingy.
All right. So let's move it along to our movie quote segment, brought to you by JKA Jedi Knight Academy.
Who
Danny
we forgot
boy.
to shout out, but we still love you.
Just did it. Danny now has his own website coming about.
I really don't want to die
I
today.
smell the fire.
You're burning, sir.
definitely fine.
JKAgear.com.
Oh, cool.
Check out the website. And this month I did sci-fi. It's a
Cool.
sci-fi quote, so check it out.
Wait,
give it a listen.
I feel like we should give it a little teaser.
little
No
teaser.
Like what
Teasers.
year, maybe?
It's 1980s. Let's
Yeah,
just
we'll
put
say
it that.
1980s.
We'll go with it.
It's an 80s
Oh,
flick.
and Billy Zane was in it.
Wah, wah.
No, it's a winner.
It's a winner. All right, here we go. Here we go.
What can I get for you fellas? Reverend, what are you doing here? That's some outfit you got on.
We want the Kreitz.
Oh, really? Who are they? Some new team?
The Kreitz.
Look, mister, I don't know what you're talking about. I think you all better be leaving before somebody gets hurt. You all have a serious attitude problem.
And there it is.
Come on,
Don't
man.
we all?
So if you guys have any idea what that movie is, give us a call, 201-580-3712. I think that's the first time we gave out the number.
Dude, you guys should know by now. We have movie stars and comic writers calling in. Come on.
Yeah, man.
So give us a call, 201-580-3712.
If you know the answer.
And I think
If somebody knows this
snap.
fast, if somebody knows, it's Billy Zane. It was the Billy Zane.
Billy
hint.
Zane, yeah. Here we go. Welcome to Geekblast. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Jeff from Lakewood.
All right, Jeff. What are you calling in for the movie quote?
No, actually, I'm calling to talk about Godzilla.
Oh, all right. Well,
Okay. All
I mean,
right.
I'll take it.
I mean,
A little early, but
a little early,
okay.
but okay.
Do you want to take a stab at the movie? Did you even hear it?
No. I thought that the movie was great, really.
Okay.
All right, so Godzilla. It's a pretty cool flick. I mean,
I cried.
I saw it. You cried?
I cried right in the beginning.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
Because
when the mother died?
Oh, 'cause the mother died, I mean?
That was so sad. He's closing the door. She's right there.
I think he was like kind of
cry right
overacting
now.
at that point.
She is crying right now.
So Jeff from Lakewood, what'd you think of the flick? What's your...
Personally, I thought it was freaking awesome. You know, I've heard a lot of mixed reviews and stuff, and a lot of people that I know that went to go and see the movie are trashing it because, oh, it's not the original, blah, blah, blah. Personally, I don't really give a crap about that. You know, when I go to a movie and, you know, go to see like a reboot, I'm looking for how they adapted the original version to fit today, to fit today's standards. So how did they do it for today? Well, you know, first they explained it as, you know, it's Godzilla is is nature's final answer to, you know,
He's the reset.
like an imbalance or something like that. I thought it was really cool, you know?
Yeah, I like that whole thing where they kind of like he was the balance to nature and these monsters, and I like the whole fact that the other monsters like fed off of radiation.
Yeah, that was really that's a really good, and the way that they explained it all. I thought that the way that they explained everything made it so much better. Like when the first monster came out, you know, when it came out of this cocoon, I'm gonna call it. You know, and it like pounced on the ground, and there was this huge EMP blast. First, I thought it was stupid. You know, I'm like, a monster that shoots EMPs, like what? That's stupid. But then after the fact, after he like explained it and whatnot, I'm like, you know what? They actually took some time to think about this, and I can appreciate that. You know.
Yeah, I think also part of the thing that I liked about the movie was just kind of like, you know, you didn't really see Godzilla that much in the movie.
What?
But the parts you did see, they were epic. I mean, he had his breath, which was awesome.
Was it? Yeah.
The lightning breath or whatever.
I haven't seen it.
That was freaking.
I didn't see it either, but if you're telling me that he's not in it a lot,
mouth and just made its head explode. That was fucking awesome.
Whoa.
Let's watch the F-bombs. But yeah, it was a good thing, man.
But the Broderick one was still better, right?
No. Broderick?
I'm kidding.
Absolutely not. I actually did like the one, the Matthew Broderick one. That's actually the only one.
Come on, dude.
Other than this new one.
The Matthew Broderick flick was terrible.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
It
wasn't that bad though. I mean,
if it was called Lizard, it would have been fine.
Stuff,
but it wasn't.
It was pretty good for a movie.
So pretend it's not.
This is what I want to know from the people that saw it in the room and on the
I got you.
phone call here. So how long was the movie? 2 hours? 3 hours?
About 2 hours.
It was
All right.
2 hours and like 10 minutes.
And 50 seconds. Okay. So how long in that time frame was Godzilla in the movie? Like the fight scene? Was it a 20-minute fight scene? Was it a 5-minute fight scene? Like what?
Well, they had two main fight scenes. You know, the first fight scene was probably about, I would say, 10 to 15 range. The last fight scene was a good long go.
Yeah, I feel like
About
the last
half
one went
hour,
on for a while.
Yeah, probably about that.
So he's in the movie for a total of 45 minutes.
But there's
out of 2
also
hours.
like
Bryan Cranston.
There's also like glimpses of his
Who cares
back.
about Bryan
So
Cranston?
if you add all
Bryan
that
Cranston.
together, that's actually a decent chunk.
Yeah. It's
Well,
not
do you
that
see
bad.
him more or less than you see him in the Fiat commercial?
Who?
Godzilla. Yeah. Which do you see?
He wants Italian.
I like, yeah, exactly. I've seen the Fiat commercial and I actually enjoy it.
Really wants a Fiat, really bad.
That actually made me angry.
Why?
The Fiat 500L, I'd buy it.
It made Godzilla vomit.
It annoys me when things I grew up loving
tiny
are
cars.
now like selling out and selling cars.
That's been happening forever.
Yeah, I
Over
mean,
it.
it's
Come
just,
on.
that's the natural progression of.
And Godzilla doesn't have an agent.
Yeah.
He should.
You should be his agent.
So
great.
Jeff from Lakewood, scale of 1 to 10. What would you rate this movie?
I would rate it about an 8.5.
Ooh.
8.5.
Well, can you give me what would a 10 be?
10 would be if
No.
No,
What's a
movie is
10? Like
What
movie's a
movie,
10?
by your standards, a 10?
Goonies, of course.
I would have to say Rise of the Planet of the Apes was
Hang
a
up
10.
on this man.
That was a great movie.
Hang up on
That
this man.
one and like
Wait, which
the
one?
original Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
Original,
those
okay.
two were-
All right.
To me, they were 10s.
Okay.
All right. Well, Jeff, thanks for calling in. And do you want to take a stab at the movie quote?
I actually didn't hear the movie quote.
All right, I'll play it for you right now. Let's see if maybe you can guess it. 1980s.
All
So
right.
Billy Zane.
and Billy Zane is in the movie.
There was 3 or 4 of them, and I think Leonardo DiCaprio was in the third one.
Oh,
Maybe.
Third or fourth?
all right. So let's play it for him.
What can I get for you folks? Reverend, what are you doing here? That's some outfit you got on.
We want the Kreitz.
Oh, really? Who are they? Some new team?
The Kreitz.
Look, mister, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you all better be leaving before somebody gets hurt. You all have a serious attitude problem.
What do you got, bud?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I have no idea.
How old are you, man?
I'm like 20. I have no idea.
Out of your range, dude.
All right,
The
well,
youth is wasted on the youthful.
well,
When you get
find
the
out,
answer,
watch it.
check it out on Netflix.
all right. Well, thanks for calling in, Jeff. Keep listening and keep it real.
Keep geeking.
Bye, Jeff.
Will do. Bye-bye.
All right. So if anybody else may know the answer to this movie quote, 201-580-3712 is the number to call. At this point in time, we're going to move it along,
Yeah.
and this is what we're doing. Whoop, that's a little high. Give me a second.
It's like Star Wars lesson number 3.
Oh, my hat.
Oh,
It has been so long since I've gotten a good Star Wars lesson. I feel like
it's
I'm
been a
just
whole month.
wandering life aimlessly.
Feels so
been a month.
empty. Fill me
So
up.
yeah, I'm gonna have to change that from week to month. That little clip.
Yeah,
So, hey,
just-
all right.
So you're gonna do 10
Epic
in a row
fail.
instead of 2?
We're still just doing 2 because we're still on the same schedule here.
Unless we get a phone call.
Oh, we got a caller. So
Oh, snap.
let's see. I think I know who this is.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to Geekblast. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Frank from Lake Placid.
Frank from Lake
Frank
Placid.
from Lake
Ooh.
Placid.
Godzilla review time, guys. That last caller can lick the shit out of my ass.
Oh, man.
Let's watch the profanity, sir, but keep it rolling.
Okay. First of all, the movie felt like a marginal Steven Spielberg movie. You guys saw War of the Worlds, the one with Tom Cruise?
Oh my God!
Crap
Yes.
on a stick.
Great movie.
What?
All I can remember is Dakota Fanning yelling.
This
is my space. This is my zone. Daddy! That's all I remember.
All right, now, yeah, Steve, they tried to focus more on the familial relationships rather than just aliens blowing stuff up.
Okay.
That's what this Godzilla movie felt like. And as a result, Godzilla was reduced to a supporting role in his own movie.
Wow.
That's
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
that's valid.
Godzilla was cool though, in himself, wasn't he?
Godzilla was cool. I had no problems with Godzilla. And as a Godzilla purist, I had no problems with the design. I had a little problem with the way Godzilla walked, especially when he went through the bridge. It looked like Jim Carrey doing slapstick comedy. You know, there was nothing really scary about it.
The Mask as Godzilla.
The fire, you know, they tried to keep that original, the atomic breath,
Yes.
although it looked like silly string coming out of his mouth.
So you're not going to give it an 8.5?
No, it's not going to get an 8.5. You know, the movie needed a little bit more Michael Bay. And I know the fanboy community doesn't like Michael Bay, but he was a little bit needed in this movie.
And that's sad to say when you're dealing with a giant fire-breathing monster.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
If you have to say that about a movie,
You would think that would be a must.
Yeah.
It would be in there already.
All right. So what did you think about the other 2 monsters?
They were pretty, I mean, insects. I mean, insects have been the monster since the early 90s.
Right.
Nothing original there.
So nothing like throwback of like Gamera or Mothra, Rodan, or nothing like that effect, right?
No, there was, I mean, there was not so much Mothra, but in 1992 during the Sai series, the Godzilla series from Japan, they had Godzilla vs. Mothra, which also featured Batara, which was looked a little bit more like one of those flying creatures.
Okay.
I mean, that was fine, but there was just nothing original. I don't think they did anything different.
But so these weren't any callbacks to any of his previous nemesis.
No, I don't think so. I don't think they were trying to go with anything that had that Toho had produced before.
You see a sequel?
The only other gripe I had with the movie, and the one thing I agreed with about with your last caller is you said when he goes to see a reboot, he wants to see how they adapt it to modern times. That's great. That's fine. But Godzilla's legacy was built by Akira Ifukube, one of the premier composers of the 20th century. He did all the signature music for the Godzilla series from its inception, and they should have had a nod to him in there somewhere, and they didn't.
Nah, I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm a purist when it comes to certain things, man.
Dave is a pure ass.
Whatever, dude.
All right. Well,
I mean, I'm
what's your
ready for
rating?
more Godzilla. I'm not ready for more Gareth Edwards, the director. That's the bottom line.
What's your rating? What's your rating? 1 to 10. What do you give it?
It's hard to say because I have so many mixed feelings about it. I'm going to say it was a 6.
Okay.
That's better than I would have thought.
Not too far off the 8.5 from the last caller, but okay.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes 7.3.
Okay.
So it's kind of
right in
split
the
the
middle
difference.
there.
Yeah.
Splitting the difference, yeah.
Well, Frank from Lake Placid, watch out for alligators, and thanks for calling the Geek Blast. Keep listening. And
That was a croc.
Crocodiles, you mean, but that's all right.
alligators,
Take care.
crocodiles,
Not the same
tomatoes,
thing. Not the
tomatoes.
same thing.
No.
Say hi to
One's
J-Lo.
freshwater, one's saltwater. It's a big difference.
All right. So,
I wonder if Frank knew the movie quote.
we should have asked him. But anyway,
Nobody from Lake
he really
Placid
wanted to talk
Frank,
about
call
Godzilla.
back.
Really want to talk
Frank
about
loves Godzilla.
Before we had the caller, Star Wars lesson of the month time. All right. Here's some gems for everybody. Always pay off your debts in a hurry.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
I think that's a really good one.
That's,
Or you end
Words
up
to live by.
in carbonite.
Yes.
Would that be so bad though? I feel like Carbonite's kind of like being time traveled.
It's like suspended animation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're, hey, I'm frozen and I owe you money.
You're like-
now I'm unfrozen and I
But it
have
may
no
kind of
debt.
hurt, sir.
But it's kind of like
Does it?
It's kind of like you
Yeah.
own me at that point. You
That's
know?
Yeah,
cool.
because
Yeah.
I mean, if that pays off $50, and that pays off $50, whatever pays the bills.
yeah, I hear you.
Number 2, if you, if you're in, wah, wah.
If you're doing a bit on a radio show,
I can't talk.
Fail number 3.
All right, so if you're in it just for the money, you might blow your chances with the princess.
Nah,
yeah.
So
that's true.
it's a true thing. I mean,
Yeah.
don't be all about the money.
But if you meet a princess, you're gonna be like, oh,
Well,
Jesus.
if you meet a Druish princess,
A Druish-
you better just be all about
That's
the
the
money.
last thing we need is a Druish princess.
I hope people follow that reference.
All right, so
We're dorks.
that has been Star Wars lesson of the month. So now we're moving along.
I thought there was an outro for that.
No, there's no outro
No?
yet, but there will be.
There will be. It's
Down the
coming.
road. It's coming.
But we're going to change week to month.
I know. That's what I said at the beginning.
I
so.
don't know, it's not going to sound the same.
But so now, going on to the next segment we have in Love Always.
Comics with Dave.
I'm like,
Again?
doubling up.
Here it comes.
This is Doomsay's tantalizing, deep twisting travel guide.
Dave can't stop laughing.
I'm sorry, I can't not laugh initially when I hear the beat. It's great.
It's not even a beat. It's just ding, 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 ding.
That's
ding.
what I'm. Whatever.
Sounds-
There's
It sounds
music in there.
pretty.
There's a little dings and dongs in there.
All right. So what's the travel guide this month?
Travel guide is nobody here at this table has played it besides Michael here, but If I want to go back to 2000 to a little game called Shenmue. It was
That
a
was
4-disc revolutionary
It
masterpiece.
was revolutionary.
It was.
It was
for
like
the time.
4 discs. Oh my God! There's 4 discs in this.
4
thing.
discs. That's a lot of equipment.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of software.
A lot of stuff.
But if you remember, man, it was a beautiful game. And actually, I put it in recently, and it actually holds to the times.
Really?
No way.
It's 2000. It still holds to
14
the
years
times.
ago,
It still looks pretty good, man. Still looks pretty good. Still original. Original as hell.
Well, 4 discs. Was it a Japanese import?
No.
It's an American original?
They had,
But it took place in Japan, though.
Yeah, it took... No, it was Americanized. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it wasn't just an import.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was Americanized.
And it went through the washing machine and came
exactly,
out.
Exactly. It also spawned a sequel, which was on Xbox, only Xbox, which I didn't get to play too much, but it looked equally as beautiful on Dreamcast, and it wasn't nearly as powerful for the time. Millions of dollars spent on this game.
Yeah.
You know, for the time period, Sega almost went bankrupt because of that game.
And the game itself was so long for that time.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I remember
forever
that
to play
game,
that
man.
It was literally like it had some length to it, but you were switching discs like every 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That had to get it.
Did it have any of that
A little bit.
disc back and forth?
No.
No, it was like you progress through.
Like
each
if you
one.
spin the disc backwards and
You
it
hear-
speaks Satan to you?
yeah.
No,
Oh, like the
no, no.
gate.
The Gate, great movie.
Great movie.
I've always wanted to fall in a hole of sorts like that.
Oh my God.
The Wall Walker ruined my life.
And the hands run to the back.
But Shenmue's story, if you don't know, is a story of revenge. Daddy gets killed, son runs around a little village in Japan trying to figure out who done it. You wind up in the little harbors of Japan with this evil villain kung fu guy, and it mixes into Shenmue 2 because it ends you right off on a cliffhanger.
What's the spread between the two? 2000 and...
2000 and 2003, I believe.
So not even that long.
Fans have always been clamoring for a third game, and they just haven't.
It's been a
Sega hasn't recognized it. Yeah.
And now that Sega's they're only making software now.
And it's nothing really good.
No, they're just whoring out Sonic to everything. Yeah, this is Sonic
over and over and
put
over.
Sonic
again.
in Solid Gear Metal. Like that's all it is.
Solid Gear Metal.
What did I ever say?
Sonic Gear Metal.
Solid Gear Solid. The smoke from the fire is getting to me.
That would be an interesting mix. Metal Gear really fast.
Metal Gear Sonic. Metal Gear Sonic. With the voice of Dave Hayter as Sonic.
That'd be weird. It wouldn't be cute, I tell you that. Not at all. Sonic puffing butts?
You figure he does.
He probably does. Did you know, actually in the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure, I know Mike saw this, there's this little vortex that you had to climb up to get to a upper level, and there's all these little pot leaves flying around.
Yes, I remember
Definite
that.
pot leaves.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew Sonic Team definitely smoked the reefer, no doubt.
They're a bunch of reefer smokers. That's
Definitely were.
The wacky tacky.
So I'm onto a couple of very strong reviews here.
Okay, let's
From
take it away.
Shinmei.
We've got Wolfenstein New Order.
I just got that today from GameFly.
Did you start playing?
No.
Okay, you haven't started playing yet.
Holler.
It's just like when I was leaving the house, I got my mail and it was in the mail. Not making a commercial for GameFly, but I love that shit.
So you are going to be playing it later?
Yes.
Okay. It's id,
Yeah.
Machine Games, which is actually a new developer. I don't know any works by them previously. Bethesda is the one who published it. So they actually, from what I heard, didn't have anything to do with the development of the game.
So they just kind of gave them their name, just like...
Yes. And that may be the case with Doom. But if you purchased Wolfenstein, you get beta for Doom, early access beta for Doom. But you rented it from GameFly, so I don't know.
Wait, so if you purchase Wolfenstein, the new one, you get the beta also for Doom?
For Doom, yes.
And they're both made by id, and they're both reigned over by
Published
Bethesda.
by Bethesda.
Huh.
Yeah. So it is a first for the series. But
that's pretty cool.
It's been a while since the last game, and I must say I'm truly happy with this latest.
So you were
Wolfenstein
playing
game.
it? You're playing it currently?
Yeah, probably about 8 hours in.
Okay.
It's a lengthy campaign. It's about 14, 15 hours.
First person? Is there a multiplayer option?
Is there multiplayer? No.
Okay, so
no, there
that-
is
yeah, that
no
would explain it.
multiplayer.
Okay, cool.
Strictly single player.
Yeah.
But honestly, unless you're into that, you know, I probably would never get to the multiplayer anyway.
No.
In a game like that.
Well, no, just the games with multiplayer have like 6-hour campaigns, and then you move on to the multiplayer.
Exactly. It's like a half-ass single player, and
it's like a tutorial how to play online.
Exactly.
That's all it really is.
Exactly. This is the opposite. It takes place in the 1960s, and the Nazis actually won World War II.
So it's an alternate history game?
What?
Nazis won the war. You've been in a
crazy.
mental hospital with an injury. You were actually in World War II in like 43, 44 or whatever. You suffered an injury. You were mentally sedated for about 14, 15 years, and then finally you come out and they call on you to...
And you're starving.
And you got a beer.
They feed you in that little hospital.
Yeah, they got the IV.
But yeah, but it's like all liquid, you know.
The Nazis have gained the upper hand due to far greater weaponry. You know, the weapon tech is like out of this world. It kind of mixes with the occult and a little bit of steampunk.
Well, if you remember, one of my geekly desires when you bought the game was that kit you get with the Mecha Hound, or what are they called?
I don't remember.
The Mega Hounds? I forget. I could look through my notes. I don't even...
There are hounds in this new game that have like
Big
they're like have
mechanized-
robotic
yeah.
with dog mix.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of, you know, supernatural kind of occult.
Do they show swastikas?
Yes.
Okay, good.
There are many swastikas.
I hate.
Are you fond of the swastikas?
No, but just remember when they, because you remember that
they
game
dubbed
originally.
them out.
Yeah, that
Yes,
game
they put a
originally.
lighter version.
When they came out originally, it was very time true. I'm
Right.
not saying I support swastikas.
And people were like, "Oh my god, there's a swastika
I
on the
can't
screen."
take it. And then they re-released it, and they were just like towels hanging on the wall.
And what made it even worse is that you'd have to press the square button on those swastikas. Everyone that you saw to make it rise up, because it could potentially be a secret door.
Mhm.
So that just was like swastika in your face all
All
the
up in
time.
your grill.
you know? Up and down, up and down.
Oh, God.
So, you are B.J. Blazkowicz, humanity's last hope at stopping the Nazi regime, whom have taken over the whole globe. Now, for a first-person shooter game, there's actually one major thing that it's got, which is substance, compared to the other shooter games like Call of Duty, and, you know, there's actually meat to the story.
Did you play Bioshock Infinite?
Oh, love it.
Where's it?
That's
fall?
another one that...
Where's it fall in that solar system? Is it?
Alright, you got Bioshock Infinite at maybe like a 9.5 level.
Yeah.
Overall, I'll tell you the score now. I gave this game a 8.8.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
it's right under.
Okay, so Bethesda didn't whore their name out either, which is important to me.
No, I think mainly all they had to do was getting it out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But alright, the story, interesting characters. You sort of care about who you're dealing with. You know, unlike a lot of games these days. You shoot through plenty of meat sacks. It has that run and gun feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like unlike Call of Duty, you're sitting there. You know,
Those are
scoping out,
campers.
you're
People hate campers.
Like this, it has a little bit of those breakup sections, but there's a lot of that old school feel where I'm blasting 5 guys at once and their heads are exploding and
Like Area 51, kind of. Remember that arcade game?
yeah. But even so, more closer to the original Wolfenstein.
That's what. That's
You know?
why I said.
You'd open up a hallway door and there'd be like 5 guys standing there and
That's
a
cool
lot
as
of run and
hell,
gun
man.
play. You know,
And that's cool as hell.
it doesn't slow down. You know, which I really liked. AI is decent. Weapons are what you would expect from normal standard to strange and kinky, and also flaccid and spongy.
Oh,
A little bit.
those are 6
There's
of
a
my
couple
favorite
strange
things.
weapons in there.
Yeah.
Graphics are a constant
adjectives.
60 frames per second, 1080p, which it should be by now. I mean, come on. Watch Dogs, which is my other small review here. It's not revolutionary. It's smooth. Like I said, nice 15-hour campaign. 8.8, baby.
Out of 15 hours, that's
That's a
saying
good.
lot.
That's a
Yeah.
good first-person shooter. You know.
I'm in the middle of Bioshock Infinite. So
You never finished it yet?
No, because I got The Last of Us.
You're like me. You juggle a lot.
Yeah,
I do a lot
I
of
just finished The
juggling.
Last of Us like 2 weeks ago. I cried and got angry and masturbated all in the same 20 minutes.
It messes with your emotions a lot.
I dropped the controller. I said sexual chocolate. I walked away. I just walked away. Running. I was like, I am done here. Unbelievable.
So my other little game, Watch Dogs, Ubisoft, their answer basically to GTA. It's out on all systems. Game was ultra hyped, and now it's finally here. Supposed to be a launch title, if you remember, for Xbox One and PS4, but it didn't happen. It got pushed back. It's supposed to be the GTA killer, but hell no. It does some things better, I feel, but most of it not. Graphics are smooth and luscious, with trees flowing wonderfully in the wind.
Trees.
I always like that look.
Yeah,
Luscious
yeah. Day is bright, night is dark.
No way.
NPCs are actually kind of interesting in some aspects, but they don't. You have this thing called profiling. Your main thing in this game is hacking everything. any person you look at, you read through their cell phone and get their profile. I thought that was very cool at first, but then I started to notice I'd be looking at a drug dealer, and it would say like, president of this company, and he's sitting there dealing drugs on the.
So it's just a randomized
exactly.
pool.
I'm starting to think a lot of them don't
up.
fit.
Yeah.
So that kind of started to kill that for me a little bit, but.
And you have to do with every NPC or just who you think you should? Or?
No, all characters. Every character actually in the game world. So picture GTA.
Yeah.
But every character you could scan and see what their age is, what they're into, and what their job profession is.
And that is relevant to what you're trying to do.
Rarely so far. Unless it's a key character.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You can basically tell what anybody's doing, but it's really not relevant.
Is there any cool amateur cell phone pics?
So far, I haven't seen any.
Well, then I'm out.
I think Dave would love the game. It's a nice blend of like Assassin's Creed and GTA.
Dave needs that one thing that he can focus on and do for 7 years.
I have that.
And get the achievement for.
Yeah,
Dave loves sandboxes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of depth to this game.
I do love sandboxes.
Ever since he was a little kid.
Yeah.
He's like a litter box for him.
The sea was buried deep within.
He would poop in there and bury it and go play somewhere else.
Find that Easter egg that was from last year with that $5 bill.
I'm like a kitty.
So, like I said, hacking is a cool addition, but sometimes too heavy. I've had parts where I just want gunplay, you know what I mean? And they're making me do stealth, or it's like not passable.
Oh, so they force you to do certain, so that's not like GTA at all.
Like I'm
in
doing
that
this
aspect.
Would you say force you to do some things?
You could either sneak through or you could run and gun, but I've been finding that I've been trying to just do run and gun, and it's been too hard. You know what I mean? It's still possible. You know what I mean? But there's other missions I played where I did, I had no problem.
Okay.
Just some things they're trying to focus more on. Come on, dude, stealth. Come on. Sneak around a little,
Trying to steer you the way they want you to go.
But sometimes I don't want to do what the game wants me to do.
If it's stealth for too long,
exactly.
It's like too much foreplay. Like you're just like, come on already. Let's get down.
Overall, I mean, the game got good reviews.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I saw the commercial. Everything you're telling me right now is blowing my mind because the commercial in no way led me in that direction.
Don't get me wrong. It's an acquired taste.
No, I'm just saying. I didn't
it could be
like,
great to somebody else. To me, I don't really see it.
You and I are often pretty much in lockstep.
Comparable onto
we're pretty much in lockstep with that stuff. So the game from the commercial didn't look like.
No, the trailer would have never.
No, it never would have.
I never would have got what he's.
What did you get from the trailer?
It was almost like what's that other game that?
It was like parkour.
Yeah, but with that game.
It was like a parkour game with hacking.
It's GTA with hacking. GTA with hacking, plain and simple. And there's one thing that absolutely makes no sense to me. For next gen, this is absolutely retarded why this has happened. But apparently, Xbox One, 720p at 30 frames per second. What the hell is that? That's an Xbox One, man.
Yeah, why would they even... That's
a PS4.
That's an Xbox.
Yeah.
That's an Xbox One, man. And a PS4... slightly better at 900p at 30 frames per second. Where the frick is 1080p and 60 frames per second, which, in my opinion, should have been done on last gen. You know?
They gotta have an excuse. I'm sure there's one somewhere.
Maybe there was just too much
info. There is a lot of info.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. It's very detailed, the world. You know what I mean? Like I said, graphically, it is, very vibrant, but it could be better. For next gen, it could be better. So, I give it an 8.0.
Ooh.
That's higher
Solid.
than I thought you were.
Solid.
I thought you were going to go lower than that.
Me too.
No. And to end off my little spiel, I'm just going to tell you guys to look out for, where is it? Lords of the Fallen. Very Dark Souls-ish.
Oh, yeah, that does look cool.
It looks beautiful if you look at it in the new Game Informer. It's definitely Dark Soul-ish, but they're going to make it a little bit more accessible. And it's going to be strictly PS4 or Xbox One, so no last-gen systems.
Boo.
But if you like Dark Souls, I think you'll like this
Weren't
game.
you playing that for ever?
Dark Souls?
Yeah.
I gave it a little bit of a break. Also, like Obi, I do a lot of
gotta.
freaking juggling, man.
Yeah.
I juggle a lot.
You never ended
Wolfenstein,
up,
Watch
like,
Dogs,
finishing
South
it?
Park.
Dude.
You never ended up finishing it?
No.
Did you beat South Park?
I will. No. Did you?
Man,
you beat it?
Yeah.
So you flowed with it. Dude,
Yeah.
you finally got your...
Yeah.
What are you saying? You bought it?
I bought it.
Beat it. Started a Jew.
You loved it then.
The Jewish.
I loved the game.
Jewish.
Oh, so you didn't even play it?
I started playing it, but I work too much and I don't get to play.
What you
or
saw,
read,
did you
right?
like though?
Oh, it's hysterical. It's like
It is
watching
funny.
South Park episodes.
She friended me. She found me. She friended me. Now we're friends now.
Did you finally see the part in the clinic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
When you got the needle and you're trying to stab it in between her
And
legs.
the best part, if you mess up, they shoot you in the face.
Yeah. And then you have to.
He's not a doctor.
Yeah,
I sucked that test. Excuse me, but this is actually what happens in the game. You lipo suck a testicle about 10 times before you get it right.
Yeah.
You know?
You get stuck in the tube. Like,
Yeah, it's like this.
It took me a while to get it right. You see
nasty.
these bloody testicles flying.
What about
by.
when you?
The game is crazy though.
Some of the stuff they got away with in that game blows. My
It is the
mind.
I
most
want to watch
vulgar.
someone play it.
It's
So
the most
bad.
vulgar game I've ever heard.
Yeah, it probably is.
When you're fighting the underwear gnome under your mother's
That was
swinging
awesome. And they're
breasts.
railing each other?
Yeah,
Oh
they're
my
playing.
God.
You're climbing under these two people that keep railing each other because you shrunk yourself?
It's your parents.
Oh, yeah, it is your parents.
Parents. Yeah, it's your parents.
You know, if
There's
you
a
watch
scene-
them for 60 seconds, you get a trophy.
Of course, Dave knows that.
I didn't know that either,
I didn't
Obi.
know.
I just kept going on.
Yeah.
Mimi kept asking, what are you doing?
Well, no, you
What are
fight
watching?"
underneath them, and you see the top of her breasts.
And they come down and squish you.
Well, no, that's his testicles. Your dad's testicles swing through the frame, knock
Swing
out
through
some
the frame.
enemies.
It's an attack.
Yeah.
The giant
If you don't hit a button and get out of the way, your dad's yam bag, you get knocked out.
Yeah, it's truly a memorable
Dude,
experience. If you're 11 years old, figure out a way to get it.
Do yourself a favor.
But yeah,
Because you'd appreciate it the most.
Yeah.
you know?
Die beat it with every character.
Every character already?
Every
for her,
class.
man.
Yeah.
Every class, even the Jew.
Even the Jew.
Jewish.
Wow.
How did the Jew play out?
Really, it wasn't a whole lot of different. It was just Cartman is like, really? You're going to be a Jew?
Really? So it had some extra lines.
Did she ever become David Hasselhoff?
No.
I was David Hasselhoff the whole goddamn game.
Really?
I went to Tom's Rhinoplasty and I had a buttload of money because money's worthless in that game,
I
basically.
haven't gone there.
It's
You
not,
gotta-
though.
Yeah, what did you buy? I never bought anything. Ever.
Well, then
You can
you're...
buy some weapons, you know.
No, what did you need to buy?
There's an
Well-
achievement for all the weapons. There's an achievement
Oh, stop.
for
You're
all
an
the
achievement
costumes,
whore. I don't have time for that
there's
crap.
A bunch of stuff.
Who's checking out your profile? I mean, this dude's got a lot of achievement trophies. Like, come on, really, dude? I just played the game. I didn't like at the end of the game when I finished the game. I had over $1,000. I didn't do any, and I bought all potions. And if I had found a weapon that was better than my weapon, I bought it.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Yeah, like I would.
Did you
just,
figure out how to augment your weapons?
Yeah.
with the
You had
the
little
ginger
stickers.
pubes,
Stickers.
yeah, the
Augmented
ginger
stickers.
pubes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all that stuff.
I
I think my final weapon was. It wasn't the man bear pig claw. I forget what it was. It looked like a big red dildo. Is what
Yeah.
it looked like.
Everything
Yeah,
was
you
like a
got it,
dildo
Mr.
in that
Slaves.
game. Everything.
I think
There's
so,
an
I don't remember.
achievement for...
For having a dildo?
No, because in a part of the game you have to go into Mr. Slave's
Lemmywinks.
anus
Yeah.
and
What?
stop
Yeah.
a nuke.
You never got there?
Again. I
Right?
gotta start playing again, man.
You're
I
so-
put it on hold.
While
in
you're,
butthole.
while you're in there, you can call him as your
Yeah.
ability.
How does
you
that
get an
work?
achievement for that. Calling Mr. Slave
'Cause he goes
in
inside
Mr.
himself.
Slave.
Yeah.
Wow, that
Which
is
means
really
that because his ability is that he then envelops you inside himself.
Yeah.
So you're caught in a never-ending paradox.
Cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's
anal
crazy.
seepage
Oh, God.
and
Dude, you get Mr.
resucking.
Hanky.
It makes me twitch just thinking about it. You know?
You get Mr. Hanky.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Mr. Hanky,
You get
Schmears.
the Asian dude from
Yeah,
Shitty
Shitty Walk. Yeah, you gotta fight the Mongolians.
Mongolians.
The Mongolians.
Mongolians.
I mean,
Yeah.
people, obviously the game is great. We talk about it every time we do the show. You
It's
know,
a great
so-
game.
I beat
Since
it.
it's come out.
I think I beat it I beat that and The Last of Us within 3 days of each other. So it's a big.
That's when you know you're playing a really good game.
Yeah,
And see, I was
When
little.
it
The only
pulls you
thing
in
I
like
was
that.
disappointed in because I didn't beat it. Really, I watched the game because it was really like watching an
That's
episode.
what I want to do. I want to
No, it's
watch
more like
someone
watching
play
a
it.
season.
Yeah,
Kind of.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you fall asleep, you wake up, the aliens come, all that. But it was very short.
You thought the game was short?
I thought it was short. If you didn't go around and do all the side
I did
stuff,
a lot of the side
right?
stuff.
Yeah,
if
me
you didn't
too.
do that first and you just followed the mission, you were. That's how Di beat the game. So
Oh
quickly.
no, I did a lot
You
cleaning
know?
out the
How long did it
homeless.
take her? 6, 7 hours?
If you're going straight from soup to nuts, you could probably do it in under 10 hours.
I want to say 12.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
that's still
I want to say and actually it could be shorter than that, because I think she was playing for maybe 6 hours a day, so maybe it took her 2 days to beat one character.
Yeah, well, if you weren't doing any of the side stuff, I can see that, but all the side stuff.
Yeah, it'll jump it up to 18, 20 hours.
No, I think I
all the
finished
side
around like 22, 24 hours, somewhere in there, because I did a lot of looking around. Like, I found all the little kids and hide and go seek.
Yeah, she did
all
that.
that stuff.
She finally got all of your Pokemon.
She found all. I didn't find all of them.
Yeah.
There's 30, I think I have 28.
Yeah, it's tough.
I still feel like it just says go, go, go.
Pokemon.
Alright, fine.
Alright, so we gotta move along here. It's we're running out of time.
As always.
Yeah, as always. There's just not. That's why we're moving it to 3 hours. There's so much to talk about.
Penny Dreadful. What
So
are we
yeah,
talking
TV
about?
shows and movies. I mean, we gotta really touch briefly on these things. Game of Thrones, first off, epic. Last episode.
What does Peter Dinklage win for this?
I mean, he's got to win something,
right?
He's got to win something that.
Can he win a Tony for TV?
No, I think that's just
musical,
stage.
right? That's just musical type stuff.
I love that little guy.
Yeah,
I love him.
I love him. He's
a
the
great
best
little guy. I want
character
one in
on
my
that
closet.
show.
I really do. Every time he can hold my suits.
You want a
I don't have a
Dinklage?
suit.
Maybe he'll bring you a suit and hold it for
Wouldn't
you.
you love to have a hobbit in your closet?
He's not a hobbit.
Mike, come over later. I'm kidding, buddy. I love you.
Yeah.
He's not Dinklage. Dinklage is like, what is he? He's got to be under 4 foot,
He's a
4.5
baby
feet.
nugget.
He's a baby nugget. Hey, that works.
He's definitely a real nugget.
He's
The
a
last,
nugget.
the last scene of the second to last episode that happened, his trial,
Trial by combat speech.
that was amazing.
If you
He
can
just
find that
blew it up
transcript, he just.
Now, they took a break last week, right?
Yeah,
Which
last week there
upset
was
me
no episode.
thoroughly.
I didn't
forgot.
know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
forgot
Yeah.
they had a break.
He told me, and I was like, "Fuck."
I went to put it on. I'm like, oh, my Sunday shot.
Yeah,
I was so unhappy.
I've been waiting all day for this.
Exactly. I was thinking about it at work. I was like, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna watch this dragon.
Game of Thrones.
And then no.
But then the last episode that they had, the guy from what's the guy's name from
Which
the
one?
other country
But
that's going to be his champion?
The mountain.
No, not
No, the
Oh,
skinny Spaniard dude, right?
Spaniard guy. What's his
no,
name?
it's not Spanish. Oh, damn it. I can't forget. Lord, I forget. Lord something.
Lord Spanish.
Lord Spaniard.
Lord Spaniard.
But anyway, that was a cool scene at the end.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting in jail and
And he
he's
tells
like,
me he's gonna be his champion.
and he's telling him how like
When you were little, your sister pinched
Yeah.
your dick until
oh
you
my
cried.
god, that was crazy.
Yeah, man.
And then all of a sudden
It was really-
he was like, "I'll be your champion," and then the face
he's
that
just
he
like,
made was like,
What do you
I
guys,
love you.
What do you guys think that was going to happen with Theo? That whole twisted mess.
Yeah,
with
I don't
him.
know, man.
They're going to make the dictator crazy guy that's been messing with him. He's going to make him act like himself.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name?
The dude
I forget his
who's
name.
now a
What's his
eunuch.
name?
Theo?
The guy
Well,
who
he chopped
raped-
his,
The guy who cut off
chopped his dong off
yeah.
first. He
That makes
chopped his
him-
dong off and sent it to his family.
And he
That
made him
makes
into
him
a
a eunuch.
basic
The
basket case.
The
Yeah.
Joy Grace. The Joy Grace.
The Joy Grace,
Is he
yeah.
That's
Joy Grace?
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Theo Joygray.
So do you think he's ever going to snap out of it? I mean, I didn't think there was any coming back
He
from
made
that.
I don't know.
him. He made him speak against the Starks.
Yeah.
And that moment of hesitation, I think, when he broke through that, that meant he was gone.
Yeah.
Just like Peter Dinklage, Tywin. Once he gave that speech, he's now out of the Lannisters.
Yeah.
He's no longer a Lannister. It's just he's done. He's
That's it.
gonna kill. So he's gonna definitely kill someone.
No way he's out of the Lannisters.
He's
The
out of the
guy
Lannisters.
killed the king. He's still there.
I'm telling you, he's out of the Lannisters. After
don't
that
think
speech,
so.
I wish I had enough poison to watch you all choke on it.
Excellent speech.
Yeah, it was great, but he's done.
Oh,
He's
it's
out.
beautiful.
He's
It was
out.
awesome, but I had no idea what was going on now.
It's a
I
show.
mean, that's the only part of the show you've ever seen.
Yeah, it was that episode.
I keep forgetting.
That's
you
so
gotta
terrible.
stop by. Grab
I
it
will,
from me,
I
man.
will.
Well, moving on here. Let's get to Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful. It's like a
It's okay.
That's exactly.
monsters.
I actually have that written down.
It does too.
I'm intrigued by
I'm
it.
intrigued.
It's kind of like a
got,
juggled mess right now.
vampires,
You know, there's no real
Frankenstein.
plot.
Yeah,
you know?
vampires, Frankenstein. Obviously, there's wolves in it.
Yeah.
Werewolves.
You know, werewolves.
Yeah.
It's introducing all these
Yeah.
things, but it hasn't really
All the
established
classic
any kind
monsters.
Well, it reminds me, it's got a universal monster feel.
Yeah.
Right?
It's League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
But it is League of Extraordinary Gentlemen-esque.
It has
Yes.
Dorian Gray.
It's kind of like
No,
Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, it has Dorian Gray.
You know,
It has
it's all
Sir
the
Malcolm. It has Dracula, the witch lady, Eva Ives, Mrs. Ives.
Mrs. Ives.
Mrs. Ives, yeah.
They
Vanessa
have
Ives,
the gunslinger.
Yeah.
They're talking about Mina, or whatever the heck her name is.
Oh, you know who's in that? And I told him
Mina.
this.
Yeah.
Remember when I first came on the show and I tried to binge watch Doctor Who?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
almost committed suicide.
And I
all of us are
told
like,
you-
why are you watching?
Why are you watching?
I got like 2.5 seasons through. That chick that Josh Hartnett is digging out,
Yes.
she's in the
The
Doctor
Irish
Who
chick.
chick. Brona.
The Scottish chick.
Brona, whatever her name is. Her name is Billie Piper, the one that you see naked the most.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had the added
With
bonus.
the bloody cough.
Yeah.
Yes,
Which
the
I,
bloody
I
cough.
find ironic
Yeah,
for some reason. I don't know why I find that strangely erotic.
Everybody should have bloody cough.
Yeah, like mid-coital bloody coughs. I feel very ironic. But she was in Doctor Who, and then when I seen her in this, and then she's buck-ass, I was like, wow, I'm kind of down with that.
All right.
Doctor Who fans, you know.
Is that a good show?
No.
No.
I didn't enjoy it.
Not
Sorry.
the least bit.
It's got a hell of a following, though. I
Yeah,
can't
listen, I'm not
see-
trying to piss anybody
Now,
off.
if we ask Spidey fan this, he'll be like, it's the best
probably-
thing since.
Well, they only
sliced
have
bread.
one channel, the BBC. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all they got over
that's
there,
really
the
all they got
BBC.
over there,
So.
that's true.
All right, so moving along here.
What about the movies?
I got some quick
Movies?
movie news.
Go ahead, throw it out.
Daredevil's been cast in the
Yes.
Netflix.
Ben
The
Affleck. No.
Charlie Cox. He's best known for his work in Boardwalk Empire.
Which one is he? Charlie Cox.
Is he the young
I don't
one with
know.
the
I
blonde
never
hair?
watched.
Yeah, that's
The one
what
who
I was
died in
gonna
the first
say.
season?
I'm on the fence because
Do
he
you know
doesn't.
who he was in Boardwalk Empire?
No, I do not. I never watched that flick. He also was in a movie called Stardust.
That's not.
So that was with. Damn, who was in that
A
movie?
lot of naked men.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
No,
Yes.
Yes, Michelle Pfeiffer was in
Michelle Pfeiffer
Stardust.
and.
And dude,
There was the guy.
the girl from
the captain of
My
ship.
So-Called Life.
The
Claire Danes?
captain of the ship.
Claire Danes. Claire Danes was
Claire
in it.
Danes, yes.
Claire
Anyway.
Danes, Michelle Pfeiffer, and this dude were in a movie.
But what's
called
his name?
Stardust.
But no,
Yes.
what's his name?
Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, and he was a gay captain of the ship.
Gay ship captain.
Yes.
This movie
Oh.
exists.
Yes.
Yes. It's actually not that bad.
It was actually a good flick. Yeah.
Anyway, for me, he doesn't look like Matt Murdock. So,
You're out.
well, I mean, I'm not going to pass judgment right now. I'll wait till the show comes out, but it's
Okay.
not looking good.
All right.
Also, Josh Brolin's going to be the voice of Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
Yes.
Home run.
And have you seen the second trailer that they put out for
Yes.
Like for Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Who does it
dude.
show?
A lot.
A
dude.
lot, man.
Yeah,
It gives you a lot. So
check it out.
Check it out.
You
yeah.
won't be disappointed.
So is Thanos gonna have a nice chunk in Guardians of the Galaxy?
He's pretty much the enemy in Guardians, is the way I'm seeing
Wow.
The Tombs' eyes just burst
His
out of his
glasses
head.
just popped out.
it. Also, the Ant-Man director, I forget what his name was, but
Ross
he's been canned.
Marshall?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's been canned. So now there is no director. They're looking for directors.
So Dave, I'm sorry, I'm still on Thanos. Have they showed what he looks like in Guardians?
Well, you saw
Just
him.
like he did in Avengers.
No.
No, they barely showed him in Avengers.
They
They
did
showed
show
the blue
some
face
profile.
with the.
You saw the grilled
There is
chin.
slight difference between Avengers Thanos and Guardians Thanos that I've noticed just in a few images I've seen. Not anything crazy. He's more purple.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you
So-
saw in the
It's
Easter
basic,
egg.
and it was much darker.
Where's his helmet?
It
well,
may be next
who
to him.
knows?
He could be in the bathroom.
Oh, and this is cool too. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Cap are going to be released on the same day on Blu-ray.
Nice.
September 9th.
Now, will you have seen any of these things by that time?
I sure hope so, dude.
Dave is a
It'd be
purist.
so bad.
Dave
And will
won't.
not watch.
He will
Agents
watch
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
because he hasn't
before
seen
watched
Cap yet.
Yeah.
Well, because they
Because
tie into each other.
time has
Yeah.
stopped for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has.
In this avenue of your life, it is frozen.
Yes.
Have any of you guys seen the new X-Men?
I tried
I
to.
saw it last night.
I heard it was good. Was it good?
It was excellent. I
Yeah.
love the movie.
Better than all the movies? The X-Men?
Better than all the other X-Men movies, absolutely.
Nice.
It got
But
Rotten
the-
Tomatoes
but
gave
the-
it big ups.
The one problem for me is after Avengers, my off factor is gone. Like, there's nothing out there right now that can make me like, you know, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Like the first time I seen a Transformer live, you know, that's an off
Yeah.
factor.
Where did you see Transformer live?
The movie,
The movie, not a cartoon.
not a
I
cartoon.
thought he meant like.
So there is
person.
no
The off factor is gone for me at least. But I mean, seeing Bishop in it was cool. Warpath was.
How was
in it.
Gambit?
Gambit wasn't. I didn't see Gambit.
He wasn't?
No.
Oh, I thought he was in it.
No, I didn't see Gambit.
Somebody
I don't remember
said he
seeing Gambit.
I think he's a cameo in the background. I
Was he?
don't know.
Possibly
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil for everybody, but the whole storyline itself holds true to like the story of
The
Days of Future
cartoon and the
Past.
comic.
That's
So
cool.
that was the great part about it too. You know,
It
there were
was-
some tweaks. Don't get me wrong.
It was the 5th highest rated movie ever Memorial Day weekend take home.
Wow.
4.3 million, I think.
It's up to
Not surprising.
90.8.
Not surprising. It was a good movie.
90.8. Godzilla,
We all love our Marvel.
30.9. X-Men, 90.8.
I definitely go see it. See it however you can.
Cool.
I want to see it illegally.
You do that all the time.
I don't want to give them any more
So
money.
if I got Godzilla in one hand and X-Men in the other, definitely X-Men?
X-Men.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you guys know who Roland Emmerich is?
He's a guy, bam! And he puts the spices in the food.
No, that's Emerald guy. Roland Emmerich is the guy who is going to be doing Independence Day 2
who cares?
There's a second Independence Day?
in the works. Also, he's been
ago.
quoted as saying he's rebooting Stargate. Now, I don't know if you guys ever saw Stargate.
Scott Bakula?
Kurt Russell?
No.
I thought Scott Bakula was in Stargate.
No.
What
Kurt
was
Russell.
that in?
Kurt Russell.
That's Quantum Leap.
Quantum
No. There's a TV show, Stargate.
Russell?
Wasn't it
Yes.
Scott Bakula?
Yes.
Stargate SG-1.
Yeah, that was Scott Bakula.
No,
That was MacGyver.
That was
No,
MacGyver,
that's
yeah.
not MacGyver.
You want to bet
MacGyver
me?
was the guy.
Oh,
that
MacGyver was the
Star-
guy that was in Stargate, the TV
I don't know
show.
his. I don't know his real name, but I just know his.
Yeah, I don't know his real name
I know
either.
he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's in Stargate, the movie?
The first
The
movie.
movie,
yeah.
yes.
Yes. He's one of the guys that dies as he walks through.
Right.
Great flick.
The movie
Sci-fi.
was cool.
Yeah, the movie. Well, that's they're rebooting that movie. This guy.
Okay.
He's doing that, and he's doing another.
Will it drag my ass to
Independence Day
theater?
No, it will not get your ass out of that chair.
No, sir.
When did original Independence Day come out?
Controller out of your hand?
1994?
That was like 90. Yeah, 90s. early
Yeah, so
90s.
30 years I give a shit that much?
Independence Day was 97.
What did
I'm
he say?
pretty sure that Will Smith ain't even gonna be in it. So
No,
He's ruined it. He's ruined it.
Maybe Little Nugget Smith will be in it.
Maybe. I wanted this.
Possible.
He's made it to my must fight list.
Little Nugget Smith.
Little Nugget Smith is on my must fight
yeah,
list.
him
Because
and
Josh
Carl.
Hartnett got bumped off.
Him and Carl.
Joffrey's on my list.
Joffrey's dead though.
Still wants to fight him.
Oh, so
He's still kick his ass.
Okay, so
Do you think he'll be in anything else?
No, his career's over.
he's got that
I'll
weird
see
bitter
you in-
beer face. He's got like that pronounced
Yeah.
jaw and the hook nose and the kind of meat in the middle. It's not a
So-
good look.
It's about 9:27, and it is time. We have to get it moving. Unfortunately,
This is why we need 3 hours.
Yeah,
All my
see that?
so much
spooky
more.
stuff.
I know your spooky stuff. We're gonna have to. Well, real quick, fast, fast, go.
Ready, set, go.
It's too long because I
Save
have
it
the
for next
Rosemary's
week.
Baby miniseries. I have 2 new movies that I watched, an old movie. It's too much. But go see Maleficent because it comes out today.
Thank you.
Oh, I
I'm
told
going
you to do
Monday.
that, yeah.
So
I know.
excited.
And that looks pretty BA,
It's
man.
gonna be awesome. I'm so
BA
excited.
Baraka all the way.
Yeah, I didn't even know. Like I
Maleficent.
asked.
Do you know who Maleficent is?
Well, Diana told me who she was because I didn't know. I'm
Thank
like,
God
who is
for her.
Maleficent?
Thank God
And-
for her.
Angelina
God for his
Jolie in her
girl.
truest
Yeah,
form.
so he knows.
Yeah,
You know,
I didn't
closest
know.
way to how
But
she really looks
This
when
is
she
all
wakes
new.
up. Yeah.
None of this is even like stuff that's in a cartoon, right? The movie.
Well,
No, it's pretty
Maleficent
graphic.
is in a cartoon, but this movie is like an original movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool then.
It basically tells the story from her point of view.
And
You
Sleeping
know,
Beauty's
Snow
so
White.
It's like Aaron Brockovich.
I don't know about that.
No, it's definitely not.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so
Wow.
let's get to our geekly desires.
As the show winds down, now it's time for our geekly desires.
All right, I'm gonna kick it off because I'm excited about mine. And I
What does
think,
it kill?
I
How
think-
many bullets
no,
does it hold?
no, no.
How fast does it go?
Can you put it in your kitchen?
Depends. You can put it in a lot of places.
Can you eat it?
Ooh.
Depends on what comes in it. So
Oh
this
my
thing that I
God.
have,
Oh
I'm a
God.
geekly
Nooks and
desired about,
crannies.
is called Loot Crate.
Loot?
And it's
L-O-
L-O-T
Okay.
Crate. It's a little box that comes in the mail every month. It's a monthly subscription. And basically, I think it's like $20 a month.
Is it always the same shape, size box?
Comes in a box, but in the box is a bunch of different geeky stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And
Oh my God, I'm gonna lose so much money. I know. I got another subscription in my life.
I'm paying for a wedding and loot cakes.
And a random box of someone's trash get delivered to my house.
just a couple examples of the things that they've had in there. There was a
The swag.
Titanfall collector set, which came with a strategy guide, Attack on Titan backpack, Yoshi 3DS XL, and
Dude, Attack
an
on
Amazon
Titan.
Kindle.
Sick.
Yeah, but they're not telling you about
$20 a month.
But they're not telling you about the bad crates that are filled with like an apple core, a used condom, old hypodermic needles,
50-cent stickers.
Yeah, like some bouncy balls. Oh, that'd be cool.
But they give you a chance to win a mega crate.
Mega crate
of like up to $750, which is cool. I mean, some of the things there's exclusive collective gear, tech gadgets, and
Peter
game
Dinklage.
systems.
You can win Peter Dinklage. He can come holding a suit in a crate. Peter,
mega
that'd be
crate.
Great.
So that was March's crate, if you will. February's crate was filled with Zelda Nintendo 3DS, Games Vanguard case, collectible Braves Warrior figure, talking cat bug.
I'd pay $20
also,
just
there's
for
like,
that.
Yeah, there's like random stuff also that they put in this crate. So it's a $20 subscription. I think the first month you get it for like a cheaper
$3
discount. So check it out. I'm definitely subscribing. So
Bring your box here.
How do you get to it? Like, what is it?
LootCrate.com.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah.
LootCake.com.
No, crate.
Oh, crate.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
like
not
a
cake.
crate.
Not cake.
Okay.
Dave's subscribing to his cake of the month. I hope this week's boysenberry.
Raspberry.
But it's a great idea.
Cakes, you
Just-
come in with your box.
It's a great idea just because of the fact it comes with a bunch of different. It's got a theme for that month.
See, but I was kind of hoping for like just a
Just random barf.
Yeah. One sock, half a plate,
Maybe a Fraggle.
Yeah, just gobo.
A couple dozers.
Oh my god.
So I mean, like, there's a bunch of different things that they have. Their themes change every month, and that's my geek desire.
LootCrate.com.
LootCrate.com.
I like it.
LootCrate.com.
Yeah, the theme thing kind of kills it for me.
Yeah, I like just the randomness of it. That was kind of more appealing to me. Like, oh my god, a pair of pantaloons. Exactly.
A jester out.
Yeah, like, what's this? A naked photo of my mother.
Shower curtain rings.
Shower curtain rings.
Awesomeness.
All right, who's up? Come on. Chop, chop.
Me? I gotta go after
for
Loot
it.
Crate? Because I thought we were gonna talk about more of Penny Dreadful. Because I really kind of dove into that, and then it made me think of The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I'm obsessed with Dorian Gray. You guys know that.
He's a
which
very
means
beautiful man.
I will kiss him on the mouth. And which in turn makes me obsessed with Oscar Wilde. So my Geekly Desire found this auction house that has the original photo of Oscar Wilde from his tour of America in 1882, autographed by him.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's big dough, huh?
Yeah, it was sold out, so I'm not even going to tell you the website.
Wow.
So they can go, kiss my butt.
What was the price, though?
Over $3,000.
Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was north of like $3,000. And it was, I think, a bid system, so I don't know what it actually sold.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Loot Crate will come out with
Its own little,
little
Oscar Wilde box.
A small Oscar Wilde sticker.
Well, that's how big. The photo was 4 inches by 5.5 inches. Because it was
so it wasn't even that
1882.
big. Wow.
It took them 4 hours to sit there and take the picture. Like, you can't, that wasn't just like, don't move. Yeah, like you just have to sit there like forever and just wait. And then it goes off. And the signature just looks like he was plastered. Like they just took his hand and just dragged it across. Yeah, it's like, it's really cool. It says Oscar Wilde, New York, 82. And it's the original photo on the original mounting from the photographer. I just think it was really cool. And Dorian Gray I just read within like the last 10 months, so it's not monthly.
Also a character in Penny Dreadful.
Yeah, it's also a character. So.
All right. Nat?
I dig it. Mine is a while back when we did reboots. I watched Maniac because that movie rules. And there is a website called angeljackets.com, and they are selling Elijah Wood's jacket. And it's on sale, and I want it.
And you love Elijah Wood.
And I want to look just like Elijah Wood.
Okay. The Hobbit Elijah Wood, or
the Maniac Elijah
the Maniac.
Wood. The
Okay.
Maniac Elijah Wood.
Okay.
I wonder if blood is going to be on his jacket.
How much is this
I hope so.
jacket?
I don't even want to tell people because I don't want them to buy it because it's on sale. It's only $179.
For a jacket.
Nice. Well, you know, I
It's
get an aviator
leather.
jacket for just as much.
Not bad.
At Marshall's.
What does it look like?
It looks awesome, like a leather jacket.
Oh.
It's an awesome leather jacket.
I sure hope
I'll
when
show
we
you
leave
a
here
picture
it's just not just like a smoldering pile around this room.
Yeah.
We forgot about
We
that.
survived
The window
because
is
the
okay.
room is
Yeah.
like concrete.
Yeah, there's no fire alarm in here if you haven't noticed.
Yeah, right. We did never know.
We would never know.
So for me, my geekly desire is for the last couple of weeks, we've been playing some chess at a buddy of mine's house, and I went on the DC Direct just looking at Batman books and found there is a sick chessboard.
How
A
much?
Batman one?
Yeah, it's all Batman characters.
Nice.
All the it's all made from cold cast pewter.
That's usually all I
hand
have.
painted. The board itself is out, and I think 5 pieces are out right now. So you can't even play the game yet.
Right.
But each piece.
Oh, so they're doing it strategically.
Well, each
They usually do
piece.
that.
Yeah.
Each piece is a different character.
So who?
So
who-
And they
who
come
are
out
the
like
pawns?
monthly or bi-monthly.
Yeah, I think it's at every couple of months, every 2 or 3 months, a character comes out. It's like your subscription to
Yeah.
Loot Cake. Crate.
There's no cake, Dave. You're not getting any cake. Get out of your head.
Loot Cake Crate.
Unless cake comes in your crate, it's done.
But anyway, that's what it is. The board and the 2 pieces you get start off at a hefty $350.
Who are the
each character
characters?
after that has to be what, $80 after that?
Each,
$70?
well, as long as you become part of
The
the
membership?
DC Direct membership, you're going to get the character at, I think it's $35
Oh, that's not bad. Then.
per.
Dave,
Yeah, but
you
still.
should register for that for your wedding and
Yes.
have your guest get that for you. That would be the bomb gift.
Dang, dang.
I was going
Do
to
it.
Cracker
That's
Barrel.
not a bad idea.
Do it.
So who are the characters?
Look at him. He's
that-
actually thinking about it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
not
Yeah,
even
you
paying
should.
attention
It'd
to
be
you.
It's like,
silly
oh,
not
you
to.
saying something?
You get things for your house and you'll have that forever. You totally should.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Do
idea.
it up.
Who are the characters that come with the board?
Right now,
Batman
the
and
first 2 are Batman and Joker.
Batman and
Joker, so
Joker?
it's the-
And are they the king and queen? What character they represent in chess?
That, I don't know.
They would probably be, I'm assuming if it's a chess set that's like that, Joker's going to be the equivalent of Batman.
Yes.
Right.
On the
but
opposite
are
side.
they
Probably
kings?
They'd probably be the kings.
They're probably going to be the kings, yeah.
Did they give you an inkling of what the other characters are they going to
Well,
be? releasing?
they named like 17 different characters.
Wow.
Harley Quinn's the queen, I would imagine.
Harley Quinn,
Batgirl, probably, yeah.
Batwoman,
A woman, yeah.
Batgirl, Poison Ivy, Croc, Penguin, Riddler.
Penguin's
Yeah.
a knight.
You have Nightwing, Robin.
See, I was going to say Batman's chess team is
Isn't
going to
there
look
like
pretty
a butler
loopy.
in
Yeah.
Batman?
Like the Joker's
Is he in
chess team is going to be badass.
Deep.
Well, it's villains, heroes.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, yeah.
And it all takes place Batman universe, so
So $350.
Plus
At the box.
$35 every couple months.
right.
Right out of the crate.
Yeah.
Right out of the crate. All right.
I like it.
I like
Pieces
it.
are sick though.
That's good.
They're basically like little statues.
They're not the chessboards like that. If you do get that, it's not to be played. Like, don't bring that.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Dave wouldn't
Are
even
you
probably
kidding?
bring it out of the box.
No, it's
Out of the crate.
Because let me tell you what, if the box is viewable, it's gonna stay in there and be on a shelf.
No, you got to take it out and you put
No,
it
I
on
don't.
the board. You just let it sit.
And put it
dust.
under like one of those cake
Enclose
holder
it in a
things.
cake.
Yeah.
Talk about cake around Dave.
Right.
All right, Toombs, you're up, bro. Scott.
Oh, sirs. I would like a piece of one of Kurt Cobain's guitars.
Oh, me too.
They float online here and there, and they could range anywhere from like a couple thousand to like under $1 million. So
Whoa.
that's what
That's,
I
But are
would.
they
I'd love to get my
authenticated?
hands on
Wait.
just a piece of one.
But see, how would you know?
Yeah, like how
Because who's gonna like certify that? Where's your
that's the
certificate
thing
of
is usually it
authenticity?
is certified.
Yeah?
It'll be
Yeah, you're
certified.
Well, then
that
that's a
much money,
good
you better
thing,
make.
man.
Yeah.
Because
If
I
you
would
pay
want you
that
to
top
buy
dollar,
some.
a
I got a
certified-
guitar at home. I could smash it up and say it was.
Put a little blonde hair on it, some blood, a little heroin. Here you go.
I want a
Half a
fingerprint
mil.
on it.
I think it would be a lot cheaper and easier for me to get a piece of one of the guitars than a whole guitar.
Absolutely.
Is, you know,
Probably,
so
yeah.
absolutely.
maybe that should be possible to get a piece.
I
don't even know
would
if you
hope
could
that.
get
I hope you can.
Probably
pull
not.
that.
Probably not.
All right.
But that's why it's a geekly desire.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And this has been another installment of our Geekly Desires.
All right, well, I guess that wraps up the show for this evening. Woo!
Let's hope we.
Nobody
all-
got the movie quote.
Nobody got the movie quote?
Critters.
It was Critters.
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 1986.
Jeff out in Lakewood. It was Critters, man.
Critters.
Critters.
He
Watch
was
it on
20 though.
Netflix.
He doesn't even want to lie there.
But watch it, Jeff, because it's great.
It is
But,
a good movie.
So good.
Thank you to JediNet Academy for offering the T-shirt to anyone who could have tried to win. Check out our Facebook pages, KMDT Presents Geek Blast. We also have The Nerd Cave, and our new page, which has been pretty fun, DC versus Marvel.
Should be the other way.
And Dave has been
Indeed.
Dave has been coming up with good matchups. So we'll
And I got a
have that
whole
coming.
bunch more, dude. Let me tell you.
So yeah, tune in next month for our 3-hour premiere. That's 3 hours of terrific content that we'll be bringing to you.
No more of this squished ass.
Yeah.
We're going to actually get to talk in depth
We'll
about
talk in
stuff.
depth.
Expand our cheeks a little.
Yeah, spread the nook.
Yeah.
Get the crevice open, air it out.
Watch out for our Facebook page. Just for I'm working on some guest callers, so I'm not going to say any names just yet. But we we may have a Walking Dead cast member on the show next month.
I finally finished Walking Dead.
Oh!
What now?
Well, then we know.
Love it or hate it?
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Wonderful.
She was afraid to say that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. That seemed iffy.
Not with season 4. I finished everything that's on Netflix, so I did.
So you're
all
only one
season
season
3,
behind that.
So I need 4.
I'll tell you where to watch that at a later time.
Thank you.
So tune in next month. What are we in? January?
Same January.
We're in May.
Wow. June 27th.
We're wearing shorts, bro. Like, you're not even in the right.
You got left behind.
This is why I need to be able to curse.
3 weeks from now, right?
June 27th. It's the last Friday of every month is going to be our new show time.
That's right.
So tune in. Keep it real out there in Geekland. And
We'll miss you.
we will miss all.
Zip it up. Zip it out.
You guys are killing me.
I don't hear any music yet.
I know, because I lost it. Here we
I'm
go.
watching him
Here we go.
fumble
I'm
on the screen
fumbling
like an idiot.
like a football player in
Epic fail.
Yeah. All right.
Bye for real.
Geekblast out!
Hey, mister! Let's play! You want to wrestle? Let's play baseball! Let's play soccer! Hi, mister! Want to play with me? Hey, mister! Let's play! You want to wrestle? Let's play baseball! Let's play soccer! Hi, mister! Want to play with me? Hey, mister! Let's play! You want to wrestle? Let's play baseball! Let's play soccer! Hi, mister! Want to play with me?
Three or 4 right now. But all the other ones I'm still behind. I'm kind of catching up in graphic novels. So I'm up to the 3rd one with the and the Batman with the Joker cutting his face off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that has the Court of the Owl?
No, that's after Court of the Owl. Yeah, that's the same
But it's
book.
the same story book.
It's the same book, yeah, The Batman. But other than my infectious love for Batman, other cool Marvel titles that are dropping number 1s this month are Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, which is a classic 70s book that I just love because I love Kung Fu stuff. So, anyway, Original Sin, the major crossover event, 3 issues are out of that already in this month.
So
That's a lot.
Yeah, is that already too late to jump in on?
No, because there's really, I think it's a 6-issue thing.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
But
definitely no Antonio Banderas, right?
No,
I'm out.
not that I know of.
I am out.
And for you tunes,
What's that word right there?
Thanos Annual 1, with the return, finally, of Jim Starlin to Marvel to write the villain that he created. So
Nice.
I picked that up. I haven't gotten able to read that yet, so next month I will delve into that real
Let
quick.
me know. Let me know how it winds up.
You're not gonna pick it up?
I'll let you borrow it when I'm done. So I got two. 'cause-
Digital download, baby.
Or yeah,
Digital download.
you can digital download. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a couple of weird things because, like I said, I'm mainly a Marvel guy, and really I do some DC stuff, but I don't really pick up too many things of the independent stuff. But this month, for whatever reason, like 3 different books from Image caught my eye, and I picked them up. Where am I at here? Okay. The first book is called Cow, and it's Cowl.
Cowl.
Not cow.
I thought you said cow.
I really did get excited until you told me there was an L there.
No, Cowl, not cow. It stands for Chicago Organized Work League. Basically, it sounds to me like a little League of Extraordinary Gentlemen thing.
Sounds to me like a union.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like the YMCA.
Which to me, being in a union, which is why I was drawn to it, right? I mean, it was a big cog on the cover. It was cool.
You got a carpenter and a electrician.
A cog. Guh.
Like Spacely Sprockets.
No, that's a sprocket.
Good reference.
But it's
It's
still
Cogsley's
I know, but
Cog.
there's
Cogsley.
So it's like one guy a plumber, one guy's a electrician, one guy's a
Indian.
satellite dish guy.
Moon Knight issue 3, which is done by Warren Ellis, and I don't know the guy's first name, but his last name Shavely, which I always thought is a weird name. But anyway,
So his first name wasn't in front of his
Shabley?
last name?
no.
It was just like art by.
Yeah, I think it's he's the artist. They only give
The one name man.
the writers the first name, whatever
Okay.
I'm looking for whatever reason. Anyway, Iron Fist Living Weapon 2, which is just a great book at this point. Wolverine 6 and 7. Savage Wolverine also I picked up. Nightcrawler, he's got his own book again.
Cool.
So that's on issue 2 right now. That's going very well. Chris Claremont, one of the original X-Men
Yeah,
writers,
I
he's the
remember
one
that.
doing that book. So,
That must work out well.
well, nobody writes it, in my opinion, like Claremont or Byron. So, to me, that's the X-Men.
Well, enlighten the audience a little bit. What do they write?
Well, Claremont is pretty much one of the pinnacle X-Men writers. I'm trying to think of some of the maybe crossovers that he did.
Who was on
which are
House of M?
huge. That was Brian Michael Bendis. That's more recent. These guys that I'm talking about are late 70s, early
Okay.
80s guys. The real guts of
OG
the
Max.
X-Men. Yes.
OG Max.
OG Max.
They are
Yes,
X-Men
100%.
OG Max.
The only one more OGer is the creator, Stanley. But anyway, I digress.
OG.
Dave, I often wondered. Now, these are 2 different Wolverine books going on simultaneously.
There's like
That's what I was
3.
going to ask. Like, how many for a popular character like Wolverine, how many comic books does he have based on him going
Dude,
at the same time?
see, that to me is one of the main problems with the
With
industry.
Marvel,
Well,
right.
no, just with the industry
As a whole?
As a whole, with the exception of
I thought you said DC's a little bit more.
not really, because I was just as I was going to go along in comics, I'll just shoot it out there right now, right? So I'm still reading Batman, right?
Still.
Yeah,
How's that going?
dude. That's all I got to say. But Batman's up to 4 titles a month, and that's just core Batman.
So are they all weekly, bi-weekly? So basically there's a new Batman title once
a week,
every month.
every month.
What are those titles? Close your eyes and think.
Batman 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No, Batman.
make it
There's,
easy?
there's the Batman. There's Batman Eternal, Detective Comics starring Batman, and Batman and Robin.
I'm Batman.
Good. I'm Batman too. And I'm still on that. I'm still reading them. I'm caught up to date with the Batman Eternal, which is the newest book. I think that's on issue 4.
Welcome to Geekblast.
Jack of all trades, one and only mighty Mike up it, it's up it, I'm a MacGyver when I strike.
My name is Dave, and it's time to be saved. I got a wealth of information, cause it's comics that I crave.
My name is Dooms, one mad mushroom's your neighborhood gaming addict. My toxic race builds up all day, I'll turn your brain to cabbage.
This is Obi-Wan. You got the wrong one, son.
Geekblast! You better make way, stop what you're doing, cause you're gonna be saved. Hey,
Hey, it's Mike and Dave. We just found Tombs.
and I'm on my way.
Geekblast! You better make way. Open up your ears and let the word spray. Hey, Mike, Dave, and Tombs. Someone call Obi. Yeah, Obi's in the room.
Welcome back, geeks, nerds, and dweebs alike. I'm Mike.
I'm Dave.
I'm Tombs.
I'm Obi.
I'm excited to roll back together.
Yay!
It's been a long time. I missed you guys.
It's been about a month.
A month. A fortnight.
Yes. Well,
For the last 2 weeks.
Is it?
Yeah.
I gotta say, the biggest thing
fortnights.
from last week is you're all missing a lot of hair.
No, I have the same
Quite a
amount.
bit.
I've always been bald. Yeah.
I shaved my legs, but
Did
you
you?
guys can't see them.
That's what makes the difference.
And your armpits, too.
And my
I
armpits.
see.
There it is. I knew something was.
There was less hair in the room.
Less hair in the room.
Well, it's summer
Absolutely.
now, so.
Yeah, so, well, this show probably isn't going to be as good as the last show, just on the main fact that we're not going to have Clark Gregg on it again.
This
but
is true.
Maybe in the future he'll come back and bless us with his presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I would have played something like, this is Clark Gregg.
Promo.
Please, Geekblast. But, epic fail on that one. But, tonight's show, we have a good thing set up for you guys. Obi, why don't you give us the rundown?
The rundown. All right. Well, it's our first episode back since our most triumphant interview of the one Clark Gregg.
Yes.
Fantastic. We had a great time. He was chill as hell. Thank you again, Mr. Gregg, if you're listening. Today's episode, we're kind of going to get back to the mill. Go back to, what has made us famous. We're going to talk about comic books, movies, and TV. We got to actually... and spooky stuff. Don't forget spooky stuff. We actually have an excellent caller this week, indie sensation John Miller, the writer from Outpouring Comics. He's going to call in. We are going to talk about... Hopefully we have time to get into Game of Thrones, because the last couple...
That page. She also does the Marvel and DC Junkies Anonymous pages, so check those out. Also, check out our own Facebook page, KMDT Presents Geekblast. We're making some good headway with that page. Getting a lot of likes on that page so
I feel like
far.
there's been a lot of
Yeah,
fun
there's been a
stuff
lot
on
of
that
action.
page lately.
And thanks to our admins, Meg, Rabbit, of course, and Mimi, and
Dr. Essex.
Dr. Essex.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Who's going to be joining the show as we move to the 3-hour time slot. With, like I said again, we're putting together a cool little segment for him, something about toys, because he's the toy man. So we'll have that for you. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought.
Shout-outs.
But
Shout-outs.
Dr.
So-
Essex.
I think that's... Well, and Spidey fan.
And,
Can't forget
yeah,
Spidey.
Can't forget Spidey fan.
Well, the Beatles.
Love Spidey fan.
Oh, he loves the Beatles.
I love how we embarrassed him in front of Clark Gregg. That
He
was
did
great.
it.
And
Well,
he
he
did
did it.
sport about
He
it.
really did.
And hey, man, you got to give the guy props for that.
Yeah.
See, the English aren't that
Was
bad.
were any of you guys taken aback about how
Down to earth he
affable
was?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
no,
how.
yeah.
No, I thought he was going to be chill as hell.
Well,
Really
just from
feeling
his
deep
interviews
down, you
that
know?
I've seen on television and
Yeah,
his,
right,
his
exactly.
mannerisms and his tone,
that's-
I kind of expected it.
We're 5 people in the basement of a zombie shelter.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little different.
I didn't feel that he would deal with us for as long as he did.
Yeah,
You
would
know
he
what I mean?
double up? He doubled up his time. He said
did,
20 minutes.
sure.
What do we get, about 40?
40
Yeah.
or so.
That means maybe
37.
he genuinely enjoyed our bantha fodder.
But he's a geek also, so I mean that's
True.
probably a big factor to
But
it.
nobody was surprised at that either. He really had some information like ready to go, and
Yeah.
he said he wanted to be a Whovian. He said he was toying with that idea, which
But
surprised
but
me.
he was a Star Wars fan at heart,
Yeah.
which is
Just
That's the way he went.
big in this room.
yeah. So shout out to Spidey fan review man, Mr. James Knowles. So as always, we want you to send us information to geekblast1@gmail.com.
Love your feedback. Love
Yeah.
to hear from you.
Yeah,
Give us anything you got. So at this point in time, I say we just move on to comics. Open it up.
To me.
Take it
in
away,
comic-
Dave.
May was a big month for me in comics. I actually got to raid a couple of spots, picked up a lot of hot stuff.
Oh, those cards you got are ill. Those are ill.
yeah.
Those are really nice.
But actually, no, I hit the comic store, and there Marvel has a few gems that came out in May.
I mean,
yeah,
if whatever awards they have for TV are getting thrown at that show.
How many do we got left?
3.
That's
Three?
it?
Three episodes.
I was going to say 4.
So it's usually a total of what, 8, 9 episodes?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's about to pass the book, but we'll get into that. Because that's people freaking out that's going to pass the book.
Indeed.
That new show, Penny Dreadful, on Showtime. Fargo, we want to talk about. A couple of us saw Godzilla. A couple of us saw X-Men.
Salem was good.
Salem.
Good show.
I know,
if
but
any
two
of
we
you
watched
guys have
Salem.
seen it, but
So we're going to get into that stuff. Dave's got his comics. Jared's got his video games. Natalie's got her winning smile. And we're going to tape together a great show for you tonight. And away we go.
All right, well, I'll start off with the shout-outs, as always. Mickey at the BatcaveComics.com. We always shout him out.
In-house last week.
Giant
man.
Jealous I missed it.
He's like the mountain from Game of Thrones.
You missed a great episode.
I would like to climb a mountain.
You hear that, Mick? You're missing out.
So, we always shout out Mickey. And, you know, as the show progresses, we're actually going to have Mickey come on. We're moving the show from the once-a-week format that we've been doing to once a month. And we're going to have a 3-hour show for you guys. Will be still available on iTunes and Stitcher. So we're just trying to keep everything as, you know, as it was. But Mickey will have his own segment at that point in time. So it's going to have something to do with eBay. We're trying to pan out the details, but it's going to be pretty cool.
The guy's got his finger on the pulse of a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, he could talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
He knows Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
He knows a lot of wrestlers.
You
Yes.
just got so excited.
You
Your
should have seen
cheeks
his
are
face.
glowing.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
Yeah,
Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's the man. Had a 2x4, wore underwear. It's great.
Oh boy.
Weren't they bikinis?
No, I was.
What are they
I mean, you
actually
can call them.
I don't even know what they were.
They're
but-
actually
Tights.
called
They're
something.
men's
Yeah,
underwear.
tights.
So anyway,
Underoos?
moving along.
Yeah. Back to the shout-outs.
So, we always like to shout out Rabbit, doing a good job on the Facebook
She
pages.
geeked hard.
Yeah,
she
and
geeked
she
hard.
called in, had a little
meltdown.
meltdown
She
with
geeked
Clark
hard.
Gregg.
Which is cool.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
She got geek blasted.
She got blasted with geekdom.
Yeah.
She got a blasted geek all
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
I could
Good for
see
her.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so she fronts the pages. We're All Infected, Walking Dead page. That's her bread and butter, I guess you could call it.
Flagship.
Flagship page.